connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Paul Caroli, and I host a podcast called Changing Denver. It's a monthly show about our city's physical spaces, how we make them, and how they make us. But it's so much more than that. It's the conversations, ideas, and stories that define Denver's perpetual state of flux. Find more from our team at changingdenver.com and join the conversation on Twitter @ChangingDenver. Denver's changing. We can help.
This is Marguerite Bennett, a writer of DC's Bombshells for Real Nerds Podcast.
All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights and the old red, white, and blue.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2017.
And beyond.
I am Ryan. With me, and you just heard her lovely voice, is
Corinne.
Welcome back, Corinne.
Thanks, guys.
Excited to have you back. I have the usual nerds.
Brad.
And
James.
And
Zach.
And every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week we saw Wonder Woman.
Oh, thank you. I was going to do that too.
Were you? Do it.
Wonder Woman.
It sounds better coming from you.
Yes.
So we'll review the movie and spoil it at the end of the show. If you haven't seen the movie, we'll tell you if you should see it or not. Then we'll play the trailer, and then we'll talk about the film. We also talk about movies we've been watching, movie news, Blu-rays that are coming out, and how awesome I am. This is going to be the longest episode of Real Nerds Podcast
You're
ever.
the only one who talks about that. There's no we in that.
False. My little boy told me I'm cool.
How many times have you been in the newspaper?
3.
Oh, shit. I thought that one was a slam dunk. Wasn't the whole conversation about how you're never in the newspaper about how awesome you are?
No, I am in the newspaper about how awesome I am.
Oh.
Except for the times, I save people's lives, because no one cares about what cops do for fun.
It's on the
No,
newspaper.
you really don't.
Fun.
It's on the newspaper that Kellen makes at home with crayons.
No, Kellen really told me, he said, "Daddy, you're cool." Oh, thanks, buddy.
I feel like he's
Just
a little
out of
biased,
nowhere?
though.
I was going to say, yeah.
No, because lately with my wife, he screams and kicks her, so I am the cool one.
Ryan sneaks into the room while he's asleep and is like, I'm cool.
So just apropos of nothing, he just told you you're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. He just came into the room and said, "Daddy, you're cool."
Well,
I mean-
he was playing with his cars, and I said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm playing with my cars, Daddy. You're cool, Dad." I was like, "Thanks, bud."
Oh.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Now leave me alone, Daddy. I'm playing with cars.
No, he's pushed me. Like, he'll be playing with. So he has this toy room downstairs, and he'll be playing with his cars. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" He'll say, "Go away, Daddy." I say, "What? I'm playing cars. Leave me alone." All right.
Uh-huh.
He's just buttering you up because he wants presents.
Oh, it's fine. Well, the good thing is he does like cars, and Matchbox cars are 79 cents. I'll buy those for him all day. I don't care. But now he really likes Lightning McQueen, so those cars are like $4 though.
Yeah.
Ka-chow, ka-ching.
You should have only showed him the boring Pixar movies. You should have only showed him the crying Pixar
So
movies is what I meant.
Brave.
Yeah. Just Up and just
he
Toy
likes-
Story 3.
No, he likes Up because the house flies with balloons,
Oh yeah.
and
yeah,
there's a
exactly.
dog that talks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he
But
likes
they're
Up.
all so sad. Just show him only the sad ones.
Just show him Jerry's Game, that short film in front of A Bug's Life.
Just show him
On
Jacob's Ladder over and over.
Flatter.
And he loves there's these little 2-minute Mater cartoons where he just tells tall tales.
Sure.
And he always comes out and he's like, "If I'm mad, I'm crying." My little boy says it every time. It makes me laugh.
I have a question. Is Tow Mater in the new one? Because I saw the trailer last night, and I didn't see him in there.
He's listed in the cast, but there's also, I think I said this last week, there's no toys for Tow Mater for Cars 3.
Huh.
So I'm like,
Interesting.
weird.
It's because he's a ghost.
Maybe.
He's dead. That's the sad thing.
When's the third one come out?
2 weeks?
Yes.
No, next week is the best damn runner in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sad I'm going to miss that one.
No, you won't be too sad.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Is it The Mummy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
The best M runner in Hollywood is
you
Tom
should
Cruise.
care.
Tom Cruise is
Yeah,
going to
I
run.
know.
You know what? I'm going to start taking you to Tom Cruise movies, and you're going to start appreciating him.
Have you seen Tom Cruise run?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and type in Tom Cruise running, and it's like a 30-minute video of him running in all his movies. And then you can type in Tom Cruise running backwards, and it's the same thing.
And then you can watch the first one again.
I mean, we talk about great runners in history like Jesse Owens, but forget it. It's
No,
Tom
no, no,
Hanks
no.
all
It's
the
all-
way. Or
it's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise all the way.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
It's because when he runs, you believe he wants to get there.
Actually, I was really excited. Warner Archives, is it Warner Archives, is releasing Joe versus the Volcano on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That is pre-ordered.
I haven't seen that in a very long time.
Neither have I.
Everybody remembers their first time with Joe versus the Volcano.
Yes.
It was on TV.
It was a VHS that my dad rented. He said, "We're watching this." I said, "Dad, I'm 8. I want to watch cartoons."
Which is just how you responded to everything. Dad, I'm 8.
What have you been up to this week, Zach?
Oh no!
And this is what's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse this week.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Hi, I'm Mark Hamill.
Hi, I'm Elijah Wood.
This is Seth Rogen.
I'm Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
I'm Ron Starr. Welcome to the Alamo Drafthouse.
Does your mom listen to this? And she's like, they're so mean to my boy.
No, she listens to it and she's just like, "Damn right."
Speaking of,
If they didn't do it, I would.
so what happened with James's mom talking to you about the supercut?
Oh yeah, what was that?
Oh.
How'd that turn out?
So, if you don't know that at the end of the 300th episode, we had 45 minutes of James basically saying fuck all the time.
What the fuck are you talking
Oh my
about?
god.
So,
It was way worse than that, to be honest.
oh no. Yes. So at the beginning, I was talking to James's mother, and she says, "Ryan, I got to talk to you about the end of the show." I said, "Oh man," and she said, "I cried because you guys were so nice to me and mentioned her." I said, "Oh, I thought you were going to talk about our supercut." She's like, "Oh, and the supercut." She basically said she was it hurt.
Physically hurt. It gave her appendicitis.
Gave her
It's
appendicitis.
your mom's equivalent of that scene in Clockwork Orange where he has his eyes like pried open. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that while I was hiking, and so, like, it was just 40 minutes of just, like,
Here
I
I
don't
am.
know,
Every step you
sexual
take.
innuendos.
Welcome
and,
to
like,
the tranquility
cursing.
of nature.
fuck.
But here's the thing, Corinne. Was it funny?
No!
Some of it was.
I'm sorry, you mean all of it was
It-
funny.
you mean it's like too much? It's like crossing line like the Kentucky Fried movie.
The question is, was any of it not, deserved? Like, did it have to happen?
I like the supercut of boobs because for some reason that just made me giggle like a little boy. Like I was thinking boobs.
And when I told Carol that it was only like the first half, she's like, "Oh my god!"
I know it's only 80 episodes. I was trying to go for more episodes, but
For the
we
record,
gotta
imagine.
save something for the next one.
she
Yeah.
most definitely did not say, "Oh my god."
She did not. She said something along the lines like, "Maybe oh my gosh,"
Yes.
and then she's like, "You guys have filthy fucking mouths." She did. Actually, she did.
that I would believe.
She did.
I would
because
believe that.
She told me. I said, "Well, I don't think I've ever heard you curse like that before." And she said, "Well, I spent so much of my life not cussing that I decided I'm going to."
Good
Yeah,
for her.
she's trying to get it out of her system.
Mm-hmm. So, Carol, you're welcome to come on the fucking show anytime you want. You should have your mom on the show. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. That would be a good one.
Anyways,
What's at the Alamo?
afternoon tea. Stuff James likes.
With what?
The English Patient. That's the
Oh.
25th.
Gosh.
that movie that.
Well, this
nobody
is out
saw
of
from
order, sorry.
1996?
In Littleton, on the 6th, so that'll be Tuesday, is the Old School Craft Dinner with Living the Dream Brewing Company. At Sloan's Lake on the 13th, it's Tampopo Dinner Brewing with Great Divide. What the fuck is that movie?
it's a
great-
Miyazaki
Oh,
or
okay.
Ghibli movie.
Sloan's Lake is also showing The Diary of a Teenage Girl. And on the 10th, they'll be showing Escape from New York.
Yes.
Littleton will be showing it on the 13th.
Yes.
And, so if you don't know, they have like a kid's passport where kids can go to the Alamo and they get their passport stamped every time. And after they get a certain amount of times, they get prizes or free movie tickets. This week is Pirates, Band of Misfits, is playing the 5th through the 9th.
Oh,
That's a good movie.
yeah.
It is.
Do they have that for adults? Do we have to like shrink ourselves back into our youthful stages to take advantage of this?
James,
Can you,
I think
can you
I
do that?
think it is for
Awesome.
kids like 10 and under.
James comes in
I
in a
think.
striped T-shirt and a beanie propeller hat and a big lollipop, going like, "One ticket, please."
I like a Pie Whip movie.
So Punk / Dead taking rock and roll slashers to the next level. Sloan's Lake, that's playing at Sloan's Lakes. This week will be the Driller Killer at the 8th.
Isn't that a Shout Factory one?
No, I think it's an Arrow.
It should be.
And that's what's playing at the Alamo Draft Houses in Denver.
House Eye.
The house. The
Did you
the
mention the
house
film club screening?
It's not on there. It's
Oh.
a film club.
Steve's Alamo Film Club.
No,
No, I
I
mean-
think he meant which one is the
What's the showing?
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Isn't it All
Monday.
the Sleepless Nights or something like that?
Yeah, All These Sleepless Nights. Yeah, thank you. It's a documentary of something.
Cool.
Tell Steve to start putting cool movies for that.
I told Steve to have it not be on Monday so I can go.
Steve, start listening to us.
Steve Run.
He's like, I run 2 successful theaters. Go fuck yourselves. Hey, Brad, what's happening around town?
Ryan, you're not going to do any little musical intro there?
I'm not feeling Brad around town, driving a cheap Cherokee from end to end, looking to where the movies begin. Around town. I don't know. That's all I got.
That was a good one.
I like how
pretty
you
good.
keep insisting he has a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's not what it
He's
is.
a Jeep Cherokee this time.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah.
He doesn't even fucking listen to
Open
me.
your fucking ears.
Damn it, Zach. You have one job, and you're not even doing it well.
So Midnight, the Esquire this week is Twister.
Yeah.
1996's Twister.
He's
Cool.
not in it for the
Shit
sons,
movie.
Man.
What?
What?
At the beginning, her dad gets sucked out that door.
Yeah,
Scary as shit,
shit
man.
movie.
No, it's pretty good. Bill Paxton.
Nope.
Bill Paxton.
Just because Bill Paxton, it doesn't mean it's good.
They got cows.
Yep.
Flying Cows.
Remember that time?
What else is that movie
Remember
about?
that time that Southern lady said cows?
What else is that movie about?
Twisters?
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
It's about that old lady who's in her house and she's like really obsessed with the wind. She like really likes wind things.
I think the way James is describing it isn't helping it.
I'm not a big fan of disaster movies like that. I've realized before Wonder Woman this week they showed like the future Geostorm.
that thing looks like complete like just a dumpster fire of a film.
Yeah,
man.
In my theater, like out loud during the preview, said, "So they basically just remade Day After Tomorrow."
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's great is that it's from the producer of Independence Day. Like it's not Roland Emmerich because he's got other things to do.
Devlin.
Yeah.
What is Roland
This is a
Emmerich
new
doing?
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
Geostorm.
It's like the weather's been controlled by satellites, but what happens when they go rogue?
I would say here's the trailer for Geostorm, but there's literally no dialogue. It's just people going, "Ah!" and then like things hitting buildings and giant waves.
And when
it's just a super cut of other Roland Emmerich films.
And when I was not at the Alamo and I was seeing all these trailers before Wonder Woman, I was like, fuck. This sucks. Until the Thor Ragnarok trailer showed up at the end.
Oh, so good.
But yeah.
That was the first time I've gotten to see that in a theater, and just the title treatment is amazing.
So Kate Blanchett looks really hot in that. So here's my thing with Kate Blanchett. Sometimes I think she looks gorgeous. Other times like, meh.
there
not
are
so
no
much.
other times.
No, there's times where I'm just like, meh.
Name a time.
Then other times I'm like, ooh yeah.
Give
And other
me-
times like, maybe not. And then
me-
other times like, oh yeah.
Give me an example.
I'd have to think about it.
Lord of the Rings.
No, I think she's pretty hot in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, she's pretty in Bandits.
Yeah.
She's pretty in the
Yep,
Aviator.
Aviator.
The Hobbit movies.
Well, that's okay. Same thing.
That's not fair. She got older.
No, I think
But
she looks
still
great
pretty,
now.
Yeah,
She's still pretty.
Like, oh man, I love her.
Oh! I have it. I'm Not There. The movie
Yep.
where she plays Bob Dylan.
There you go. No, there's some. I'd have to really think about it. But there's some times where I don't want to jump on her train, and then other times I'm like, take me to the station. I don't know what that means at all.
I'm going to mark this down for future supercut material.
Oh,
Just know that I'm already married, so I don't have to try very hard.
why are you so attracted to trains?
Because that's how I read my kid, man.
What?
I read this book every day called The Dino Train.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome until you've read it for the 50th time.
Is it about a train that is also a dinosaur?
No, it's about these dinosaurs that get on a train and they
Oh.
weigh too much and it can't get up a hill.
Oh.
And then they crash into a lake.
This sounds discriminatory against fat people.
And it also sounds disturbingly depressing.
It is. I mean, well, at the end, they're really excited because they get back, and they said, and it's rhymed, and they said, we're not going to try this dino train, but how about a dino plane? And it zooms across.
That's a worse idea!
Yes, it is.
An
But
even less safe way to travel.
exactly. See, my favorite book to read with my kid is Monster Trucks, because it's these trucks that are like Frankenstein and vampire
I was
truck.
gonna say, is it,
Not like the movie.
Is it about a boy who's got a squid in his truck?
But but my boy loves it so much, and I do voices for it. So it's like, Franken truck is first to arrive. And so then my little boy will finish it. And my favorite thing is, so there's a werewolf truck, and the next line is croons a gravely tune. And Kellen says that, and it's the cutest thing ever, because he has a little cute baby voice, or toddler, and he says gravely tune, and I think it's really cute.
Gravely too.
Yep.
So what we've learned here is that next week we're starting a spin-off podcast where Ryan reads kids' books in voices.
Hey, I'm good. Do you want to hear my vampire truck one?
Yes.
Vampire truck is twisome and cruel.
Oh, that's
See?
great. Oh, I love
That's
it.
how you read books to children. And that's why my kid loves me more than his mom.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Ouch.
It's really a good thing that she doesn't love you enough to listen to this podcast.
Exactly. So I can say whatever I want about my wife.
Man.
Just kidding. My wife is a very lovely young lady.
So the 88 Drive-In is holding
Speaking of trains,
over
we derailed.
the same lineup. So that's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Pirates of the Caribbean, and Lowriders.
Nice.
Close out the
They
evening.
don't have Wonder Woman?
Not yet. Not yet. Sometimes they have to wait like a week
Hey.
or two to get the.
What the fuck?
We don't have to
Right.
keep on doing that,
Together.
Brad. Every time we say Wonder Woman, I need you to go find the 1977 Wonder Woman and intercut Wonder Woman.
I'll just take each of those and scatter them about.
We'll be very careful not to say Wonder Woman for the rest of
Why?
Wonder
I love to give Brad extra work and make him have to listen to the episode a bunch of times to figure out what to put in.
It's so painful.
Podcast is like twice as long now because there's so many Wonder Womans in there.
Look, we don't have to use that Wonder Woman cut if we don't want to. Just Wonder Woman is an icon for all ladies. And if all ladies...
All people, really.
Yeah, all people, you are correct. So I think all people should look up to Wonder Woman and recognize the greatness of who is Wonder Woman.
So when the Batman movie comes out, should we go, Batman?
So you want to know why my niece is the coolest?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't when you say Batman and she sings the Batman song, she doesn't sing that song. She sings the theme to the animated series from the 90s.
Nice.
Yeah. She doesn't even know what that song is.
How does that go, James?
I was gonna say there's no lyrics.
No, she'll go da-na-na-na.
Dun, dun, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's
And then he
actually a
punches
little bit
people?
like the Danny Elfman theme, but yeah.
That's the fucking one from the animated series. What are you talking about? It is both of those. Yeah.
And it is by Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
No, Shirley. Well, yeah. Well, Shirley Walker tweaked it.
My niece is 5. She doesn't know. She just sings the one that's in the animated series.
I was a different type of
She
kid. Whenever
probably
I-
gets it wrong.
I was a different type of kid. Whenever I heard Batman, I would start singing "Kiss from a Rose." So
Oh,
we
yuck.
there.
Get out.
It was the first one I grew up with.
Val Kilmer is the most boring Batman ever.
But who cared? Because the Joker, or not the Joker, the Riddler was in it.
Yeah. The Riddler.
And I'm 5 years old. Leave me be, Ryan.
Well, when I was 8 and I saw
Dad, I'm 8.
Batman, the movie, I'm like, this is a piece of shit.
Wow.
Just kidding, I like that movie.
How horrible are you?
It's okay.
And that's what's going on around town.
We've come to the end of good around town.
Corinne, your job is to keep us on track.
Okay. It's going to be a tough job.
This is stuff we've been watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Corinne, what have you been watching?
Oh my gosh, a lot.
Good.
So, after the podcast last week, you guys were talking about pirates and how much you love the first one and like how great Jack Sparrow's character intro is. And I realized I haven't watched the first one in a really long time because we watched it a lot when I was, in middle school and high school. So,
Yeah.
after a while, you just kind of get burned out.
Wait, you were in middle school when that movie came out? Fuck, I'm old.
I think
It
I was.
happens.
I think I was in middle school when that movie came out.
I was definitely in middle school when that came out.
So went back and rewatched most of the first one, and oh my gosh, it was just a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Because I remember quoting that movie so much with my friends. The whole weddings, I love weddings, drinks all around.
Yes, no, that movie is great. I haven't seen it in a while, but every time I do, I'm reminded how great it is.
Everything about it.
Parlay?
Every little mini scene to get you to the next action piece. Like, even like them using the upside down boat for oxygen to walk the bottom of the sea. Like, every little piece of that movie is so tight and brilliant. Oh.
And every time I watch a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I always listen to Lonely Island with Michael Bolton, Jack Sparrow.
Oh.
This is the tale
of Captain Jack Sparrow.
That is a
pirate so brave
on the 7 seas. So, and then I watched
mystical quest to the island of Tortuga.
No, I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm gonna keep going.
And then I watched parts of 2 and 3. So, not as good.
They're still fun though. I still like it because Jack in it is still kind of a anti-hero. He's not like all good and just comic relief, I think.
I don't remember who it was last week, but somebody said, like, you know, after like the second or third movie, like the Jack Sparrow act kind of gets old, and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the first movie, it really like hit that pinnacle of charm.
Yeah.
It's just because, you know, he had that swagger, but he was also just clever.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell, like, yeah, I think somebody said it last week, like, he was more than just a drunken pirate, but in 2 and 3, it was just, everything was all over the place.
Yeah, and I think it's when they started making him more of the focal point of the story, where the focal point of the story, he should be a supporting character, because he's more fun in little doses, I think.
Yeah.
Agreed. So.
Yeah.
But it's still a fun character.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I love this. Disney said that he's one of the most recognizable characters they have now. So it goes Mickey, Donald, and then like Jack Sparrow.
I can see that. Yeah.
So I also watched How to Steal a Million with Audrey Hepburn and Peter O'Toole.
Yes.
It had been on my Netflix queue for a long time, and finally got around to watching it because we all know that I have a girl crush on Audrey Hepburn.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh my gosh, I was laughing my ass off. That movie was just so charming and so fun, and I already went back and rewatched parts of it just because I had a blast.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I've never seen it. I will have to check that out. It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Sweet.
So they are, like, she just has such great chemistry with, like, all the guys she's ever been opposite of.
I think that's why she's such an icon, is because I think she's beautiful, but you relate to her, and you as a dude, you're like, she'd probably date me.
Well, even in this one, she's like the daughter of like some famous rich guy who has like this super duper big art collection, which I won't spoil it for you, but anyway, but yeah, like, you know, she's wearing like Givenchy or whatever, that famous line that she collaborated with. Like in all of her movies, she's always wearing like Givenchy or something like that.
Huh.
That's why a lot of her movies are like set in Paris, because she just loved that town.
Huh.
Something like that. I forget how it all went, but yeah, it was a good movie.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
See, I wanted to talk about the ending, but I won't ruin it for you. So
No, you can. It'll be fine. I'll still enjoy it.
No, no, you won't, because at the end there was like a shot where Peter O'Toole's character takes an engagement ring, and I thought like, oh my gosh, like he double crossed her, and then he didn't really, but
cool.
That's what I thought. So whenever you get to that, you're like, oh no, it's just, you know, your
Well,
typical Hollywood ending, which is
yeah.
fine, but
Sure.
I almost thought, oh my gosh, they really did. They went and he backstabbed her and all this.
It is
Not
kind of
quite,
fun
not quite.
watching those old movies. I think sometimes movies do lack that charm. Where movies in the golden age of Hollywood had this charm about them that I think a lot of movies miss now. And I miss them. That's why I have so much fun watching older stuff. It's like, oh, they just have fun. And
That dialogue is just quick and witty.
Yep.
There was a bit of a wink and a nod back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Without making it obvious, there was a wink and a nod.
Yeah, because I talked about It Happened One Night a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a great movie, and it's just two actors who have amazing chemistry together, and
Yeah.
that's all you need in life. And that's all. If you have that in a movie, then it's gold.
I love Have One Night.
So, and then similar to what happened with Beauty and the Beast, I went back and I watched a lot of different adaptations of Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Well, granted, there's not a lot, but I did. Just before I came here, I watched the 2009 animated Wonder
That's a
Woman
good one.
movie. So I don't want to get into it too much because we still have to talk about the new movie. But I did like how in the animated one they focused a lot on the Amazons, and so there you get to know like several of her Amazon sisters, and they kind of have like little mini character arcs within them.
Oh, cool.
And so they come back in the third act and they fight Ares, I guess, is the big bad. So there were some similarities, like the bad guys the same. Steve Trevor shows up, crash lands on the mascara, just
But
like
his
in,
voice isn't as sexy as Chris Pine's.
It's Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
so
he's a good voice, but like there's something about Chris Pine's voice that I just love.
You just want to crawl
Okay.
inside it.
I'm like, give me orders, Captain Kirk.
boss me around, man.
I don't know, Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
He's got a nice voice.
Also
he
charming.
does. He is charming.
And it had some cute moments in there too. Like there's he's talking with her while they're in the invisible jet, and he kind of like leans in and he's like, well, I haven't been really close with a woman in a long time, and he starts giving her all these like really personal details about like his life and his romantic history, and he's like, wait, why am I telling you all this? And he looks down and his foot's in the lasso of truth. He's like, I hope you guys don't ever mass produce this thing.
Yeah, no, I'm such a like the DC stuff. I usually only get Batman stuff, but I watched the Wonder Woman one. I think it was like on Stars or on demand, and it was actually pretty good. I saw it a while ago, but I was impressed.
So, and then I watched a bunch of the DC animated universe, like Justice League episodes that were kind of Wonder Woman centric.
Oh, cool.
So, like when they go back to Themyscira and they fight Hades, and when like one of her rogue Amazon sisters tries to take over the world by this bio weapon that like kills all men or something. So, some interesting variations of her character out there.
Cool.
So, but we'll get into that more later when we talk about the new movie.
Cool.
Yeah, we will.
Is that it?
That's it.
Zach, you're last. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I have to wait for him. I watched a couple things this week, actually, like more than the past couple of weeks. So I saw the movie Sing at the recommendation of my sister, and I actually liked it. I wasn't like turned off by anything of it. Like the trailer really didn't sell me on shit for that movie, because I was like, oh, it's just a bunch of pop songs. Okay, that's cool. But guys, it's a really wonderful story about a koala who loves the theater, and he's trying to save the theater. And there's a misprint on the ad that says we'll give $1,000, and instead he offers $100,000. And all the people of Animalburg or wherever they fucking live are gonna go sing for this song competition.
Wherever they fucking live.
Race cars, lasers, airplanes here in Animalburg.
Guys, it's a little all over the place in terms of what kind of humor it wants to tag on. Does it want to be for kids? Does it want to be for adults? Which is something Illumination seems to have a problem with. But
They should just worry about telling a good story.
Yeah, I thought out of anything that they've done recently, this is the closest I've seen to an actually decent story.
They should see if they can tell a story without like a musical number in it.
You know what? The music works for this one because it's about a fucking singing competition, James.
Sure.
You just don't like bananas. That's all.
Did it feel like they wrote the movie around this idea of like a singing competition? That they were like, we have the licenses to all this music that we want to use.
I don't feel like they were writing around specific songs per se, but like except for maybe one or two, like Seth MacFarlane singing "My Way" by Frank Sinatra. Like,
if you like that, you should pick up his albums.
I should.
Would you say they wrote the movie or just put it on shuffle?
You just won't give it a chance.
No, I'm going to watch it now, but...
Yeah, see, James, even though the real nerds have this motto where we're going to judge movies...
Excuse me.
But we're not going to judge movies until we see them, James still judges them.
This is not true. Well, yes.
Yes, it is.
In this case, very much so, yes. Banana! Oh, God.
Minions.
I just want to chew your face off.
Minions are cute.
So,
I hope you're talking to Zach.
What? Oh, yeah. No, not you. No.
On the so I liked Sing enough. It was fine. It was like I said, it's not like I wouldn't have put it on a top 10 list, and I certainly wouldn't have like given up Zootopia for it last year. But I definitely I enjoyed myself a lot more than I thought I would.
Cool.
I can't say that for The Secret Life of Pets, which I only watched for 20 minutes before saying, fuck this shit.
I forgot to say I watched it last week because my wife, I told my wife, quit showing him shit. But so Kellen's like, I want to watch the doggy show. And he's talking about The Secret Lives of Pets. It is.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
You should just show him.
It's stupid. Everything about it just drives me crazy. And my wife is, Kellen likes it. I'm like, show him something good.
Yeah, he likes it because it's on.
It's Toy Story with fucking dogs and cats.
Except
rabbits that can turn carrots into keys. I don't fucking understand it.
Yeah, but the thing is
why am I talking with Lewis Black?
I know, but you're right. It doesn't have a point to the story. It's Kevin Hart wants to kill people as this little bunny, and you're like, I remember Brad talking about it last year. I'm like, it's just not funny. Everything they do is not funny. They're trying to say, oh, look at these pets that this is what they do when you're not around, but there's nothing clever about it.
Nope. There's not. I don't understand how you can make Louis C.K. not funny, but they found a fucking way to do it.
Yeah. He's like, paycheck? All right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's... Even the animation, I don't think's that good.
No.
Because you have the standard of Disney and Pixar, and then you see this stuff, and they don't produce them for as much money, but you can tell. And they don't care about the story. I don't know how they're so popular. I don't know what connects with people. It's the same thing with the Twilight movies. I don't know what connects with people with them, but people fucking love them, and I don't understand it. I think Sing made $1 billion, or Secret Life of Pets did. One of them did.
Yeah,
I think it's Secret Life of Pets. I don't think Sing made as much.
I don't. It's something
Sing
I'll
was stacked up a bunch of against a bunch of Christmas stuff.
It's just hard for me to contemplate why it draws people to it, and I always want to give something a chance, but I'm watching it and it's just dumb. Yeah. There's no redeeming qualities. Maybe I come to expect too much from animated movies because I love the classic Disney stuff. And I love Pixar. And then I watch this stuff and I'm saying it just doesn't do anything for me.
I feel like they're trying to be like Looney Tunes, but they don't fucking know how to do it.
Yeah, and that's fair if they could be as funny as the Looney Tunes.
I think that Sing and the first Despicable Me come as close as they're ever going to get.
See, I like the Despicable Me's. I don't have a problem with them. I think they're funny, but all their, I guess I'd call them their secondary stuff is not good. And you think with all the money they've made on the Despicable Me and the Minions, they'd be able to produce better stuff, but...
I don't know, but so when I shut off The Secret Life of Pets, I looked through and see what else was available, and the Simpsons movie was available, so I watched that again.
There you go.
And I love the Simpsons movie. I fucking love it. I don't know if I have a favorite line from that movie, other than maybe when Albert, because I love Albert Brooks, and he plays Russ Cargill, head of the EPA, and he has that line, so the family gets away, they get out of the dome that they get trapped in, and... He's going I want 10,000 tough guys and I want 10,000 soft guys, and this is how I want them arranged: tough, tough, soft, tough, soft, tough, soft, tough. Sir, I think you've gone mad with power. Of course I have. Haven't you ever tried going mad without power? It's boring. No one listens to you.
Yeah, no, the Simpsons movie's great.
Yeah.
There's two things they don't teach you at Harvard Business School: how to deal with defeat and to handle a shotgun. I'm gonna do both right now. If you kill us, you'll never find out where the treasure is. The treasure? The treasure of I'm a wiener. I'm a wiener? I freaking love... It made me, decide that I'm going to go back and start... I have, the first 10 seasons on DVD. I'm going to go watch those again.
Yeah, they're great.
And then I went and saw with Henry last night, Captain Underpants, the first epic adventure.
Oh, snap.
That was the best DreamWorks movie I've seen in a fucking long time.
Cool.
See, I was thinking about taking my little guy to that.
And he will love the fuck out of it.
The trailer looks really good.
Unlike what they've been doing recently with their movies, I know they're trying to reboot Shrek right now at this point, and I don't understand why they're going to try to do that.
Yes.
What money?
All of it.
No, not any of it.
Probably a lot.
Those first two are great. Anyway, the
first one's really
Captain Underpants. So I remember reading these books when I was younger, and I was amazed how much the humor still stuck with me to this day.
Cool.
It is a series of poop and pee jokes, but it is damn funny.
Yeah.
But there's I think much like the Lego Movie, you're not expecting it to be as clever as it actually is. Cool. There's this the basic premise is that the two kids are their principal says I'm going to destroy your friendship by putting you in separate classes. And they keep worrying about what's going to happen if they get put in separate classes because they're 8. And one of the kids has a dream of what would happen, and it's just them as sock puppets. And they're like walking through a mall, and he has a suit on and he's like, and you'll have a suit on for some reason, and we'll pass each other awkwardly in the elevator. It's like random shit. It's really funny. And Nick Kroll plays the villain, Professor Pippy Poopy Pants, and he is hilarious because he does these like riffs like throughout his character that just work. And Ed Helms, that was fucking funny as shit. Him playing Captain Underpants, because if you don't know what Captain Underpants. He gets hypnotized into turning into Captain Underpants whenever they snap their fingers. But if they throw a bucket of water on him, he turns back into the mean old principal. And so there's this supercut of them like constantly throwing water on him, then snapping their fingers, and him going like tra-la-la, tra-la-la. And it's just, I loved it. Like I thought Ed Helms did a great job with the character. Henry and I had way too much fun with it.
Cool.
And then I watched another one of those films in that series of old DVDs that I got from work. I have some bad news, guys. Someone cleared us out of all of them this Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't get all the other ones. But I have all the Bob Hope and George Burns and Gracie Allen ones, so I'm fucking set.
Cool.
I also got an Arnold Preminger movie called The Great McGinty, which I can't wait to watch next week. But the one that I watched this week was The Big Broadcast in 1938, and it's essentially the movie that got Bob Hope his rise to fame, because he sang a song called Thanks for the Memories with Shirley Ross, and history was born, because if anybody knows who Bob Hope is, you can't not think of Bob Hope without thinking of Thanks for the Memory, or The Road to Morocco. So it's an interesting film. It's mainly a vehicle for W.C. Fields, who was a drunken comedian at that time, and there's this great game of golf he's playing where he actually has a golf cart that turns into a flying jet, and when he's about to miss his boat, guess what? He gets off that golf course and flies his jet across the pier and scares a shit ton of geese.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. Do you know how ridiculous these films are? I want you to sit down and watch one of them and just tell me that this isn't fucking ridiculous.
I'll do it.
Like I'll be like, you see, like I don't want to hear that the Farrelly brothers are stupid anymore, because like I love the movie, but it is fucking stupid. So and then the only other thing was I finished From Earth to the Moon. That was a really good miniseries, James. Thank you for recommending that to me.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was really good. That second episode is good. I will say, though, after watching episodes 2 and 3 multiple times, emotionally I love episode 2 more because it's about the fire in the one of the test shells of Apollo 1. But the Tower is Cleared episode with the documentary crew, I think might be my favorite episode of the series.
I can see that.
It's not even the one with that you thought it might be with the George Méliès story. That was good though.
Oh, I didn't think that would be, but just because that one's a little clunky, just because like the George Méliès sort of just bookends it, and then it's really just about the end of Apollo, which is kind of a bittersweet episode.
Right. But I dug it. I thought it was really good. Actually, the CGI in that show is really good for its time.
Yeah, it stands up all right.
I mean, like, I don't know what the problem is that it's only available on DVD, and they haven't done an HD restoration of it yet. So
when they do, the CG won't stand up as well anymore.
I don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll actually hold up.
Yeah.
For what it is, at least. Like, I know there's some points where they're using stock footage from Apollo 13 because they kind of had no choice.
Yeah.
The format's interesting because Tom Hanks introduces each episode with like a brief synopsis of what's happening, because they don't tell a through line story. They kind of do they cherry pick stories.
Yeah, it's like a proto version of Band of Brothers where they're not just letting the story go.
Yeah, they kind of like go from moment to moment.
Yeah,
as best as they can.
Well, and because every episode is structured very differently, right? So some episodes are about the documentary. It's almost more like every episode is a season of The Wire.
Yeah, the first
right. Like every episode is like, this one's about the media and this one's about the engineers, and
the one about the astronauts' wives was interesting.
Yeah, that one's really pretty. That one's pretty cool because they basically when the episode is also about an Apollo mission that isn't very interesting and nothing exciting happens on, that's when they make the astronauts' wives episode. Yeah, the Apollo 16 not that interesting. Mm-hmm. Astronauts' wives pretty interesting.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's all I watched this week.
Cool.
Brad.
What? What's going on? What's happening?
Banana.
No, I was like, what the fuck did I watch this week? Because I forgot to put it on Twitter.
Oh, I thought you were just like, James is talking about NASA again.
That's right.
So I went to the Alamo Draft House showing of Over the Top.
Yes.
And Steve arm wrestled some guy for
Yeah?
pre-show.
That's
Who
awesome.
won?
Oh, Steve let him win.
Aww.
You could tell. He's just trying to get over.
But it would have
with,
been awesome if they had like a camera on Steve and he came down like Sylvester Stallone did, in the first one where he turns his hat backwards and I just turn my hat backwards for those listening at home. And he gets all serious.
It looked really cool when you did it. Too,
Thanks.
just so everybody at home knows.
And in my car, I have a thing with weights so I can constantly be working out.
As a police officer.
Yes.
Watching Netflix and pumping. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun, and I was surprised at how many people were there. They actually enjoyed that movie, so that was cool.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a fan of arm wrestling, there's really only one movie for you. You don't have a lot of options.
But if you're a fan of Sylvester Stallone throwing dudes through glass windows, you should be a fan of it too. I guess it's doors, actually.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Golan and Globus, how can you not love this film?
And also, something I didn't notice from previous viewings is at the weigh-in, they call out Stallone's weight as 190, which
sounds about right.
Wrong.
I don't know. It just seems like I'm 170, and he's
Well,
only got 20 pounds on me.
He's only 4'4", so
I know
that's the
he's
thing.
Yeah,
shorter
but
than
it's
expected.
probably all muscle.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, physical mass, that it just exists. I'm just like,
190
wow.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, he's not that tall, is he?
Yeah, he's
I
short.
think he's like
so-
5'9", 5'8".
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, it's just on the screen, you just get used to him.
Yeah,
being this
well,
hulking,
he always
action
plays
hero.
bigger than life people. So.
Yeah. But in reality, he's yeah.
In reality, he's a midget. Sorry, little person.
Dick.
That's why he's never fought Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise is taller than he is.
You know what, Zach? I'm going to censor that comment. That was... Just kidding.
Too far.
And then I also saw Homeward Bound.
The Incredible Journey?
No, Homeward
just
Bound.
the
the
first
remake
one.
of The Incredible Journey. And it just made me nostalgic for a time when you could have talking animals, but you didn't have the CGI their mouths moving. Because, kids were smart enough to get the communication
Who
without
plays the
it.
Golden Retriever again?
Don Amici.
That's right, Don Amici.
Sally
The
Fields.
most bizarrely specific thing to be nostalgic for. I really felt nostalgic for a time when you didn't have to make the dog's mouth move.
And they were live action animals. They weren't
Yeah.
CG.
Yeah, they were,
Yeah, and there's actually
hopefully
some
not too tortured off screen.
impressive parts where as a filmmaker, I was trying to think how do they put the animals through that much danger while still adhering to certain standards and
They
practices.
didn't,
for
they didn't invite
animal
American
treatment.
Humane Society on the set that day.
Yeah.
Don't they slingshot like a cougar or something?
Did you see a dog's
Yes.
purpose?
Yeah, I think so. But the major thing was Sassy ends up in the river, and so there's this cat that's drowning in the river, and the other dogs are trying to grab at her. I'm like, how do they train the dogs go after? They did and try to fish her out and stuff. So.
That's witchcraft.
Yeah, and then Chance gets stuck in the face with porcupine needles, and I was trying to figure out how to do dog makeup.
Oh yeah, that one was rough.
And it was
I remember that
convincing
being really
enough
rough.
that I was like, did they actually let the porcupine smack this dog in the face? Because those are pretty convincing. He's not just
They
constantly.
probably did the Pulp Fiction thing where they shot it and then they just reversed it somehow.
Yeah.
I know for Resident Evil, they for dog makeup, the zombie dogs, they made kind of dog coats and stuff for them, so the dogs would wear them and they'd never be really that uncomfortable. And they would just put them over there, and then they'd add all the goop and stuff on it. So maybe something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to find the putty in his cheek and stuff, but still,
Yeah.
it's you think you would just immediately scratch it off.
We need to wait for Werner Herzog's documentary on Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
I was just googling it, and the cat in the river is actually played by Sylvester Stallone in a very small costume.
Meow.
Or it's like that dog in Anchorman that they
Baxter.
kick off the bridge.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It was a stunt double. A stunt
Clearly
double.
a stuffed animal.
And then the last thing I watched was, I like to find obscure movies I've never heard of from the past 20 years that have major stars in them and nobody talks about them. So I found this movie called Eyewitness. It has John Hurt, Sigourney Weaver, Christopher Plummer, and James Woods.
That's quite the lineup.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I know why people probably don't talk about it. It's because it's really boring and weird. John Hurt is no, not John Hurt. William Hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the general.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah.
Either of them are people. Yes.
Anyway, he plays this janitor at this building where they have a bunch of tech companies, and one of the CEOs gets murdered, and as he's cleaning the office, he finds the body. But then there's like this weird cut where he just takes off on his motorcycle, and then one of the CEO's like underlings follows him, and then it just goes back to the crime scene where they're interrogating him, and he has this crush on like the local news reporter, and so what he does is he pretends to know more about the case than he does to like have her.
Always a good
excuse
idea.
to hang out with her, and
Wait, so is this a crime thriller or a romantic comedy?
I was just gonna say
both. But William Hurt's like really creepy. Like he's really stalking her. Like he even has a recorded tape at home of all her best segments and stuff. Yeah, he's
right,
a
this
total
is weird.
weirdo.
Yeah,
doesn't deserve to be the hero of the movie, but they treat him like it.
Oh my god.
But the people who did the murder find out that he knows stuff when he actually doesn't, so they target him. And it turns out that it's Sigourney Weaver's husband, and because she's a reporter and she wants to get information, she doesn't tell anyone that she's married and stuff. So Christopher Plummer's her husband, and he has this thing going on where he's trying to extradite, I think, Jews from Israel to America that like can't afford it. So he's like got this program to immigrate them.
that sounds nice of him.
But it turns out that the tech guy was going to give him money to do that, and then he like reneged on it. So Christopher Plummer had him killed.
Oh no, that's not nice anymore.
Yeah, and so it's like kind of like everyone's so like it's this wild plot, but everyone's like really close connected somehow.
Sure.
And James Woods is William Hurt's friend, who's down on his luck and is trying to like
Get an acting gig.
Like he's got gambling debts, and so at one point he comes into a lot of money, and like people think that he did because he hangs out with him as a janitor sometimes at night, and he was there that night. So the police immediately thinks, oh, here's this like scumbag. Let's follow him around, and it turns out that he's not actually involved at all. But just it seems like it's a huge like red herring.
Were they able to get James Woods arrested by putting Reese's Pieces on the ground and he followed him?
Yes.
Nice.
It's like a one like single shot, like 10-minute take. It's crazy.
Nice.
Better than Touch of Evil.
Is it spelled EYE witness or I comma witness?
EYE.
Oh man.
Damn.
I was hoping it was like a prequel to I Frankenstein.
And don't forget the third in the trilogy, I, Robot.
And I Lucifer.
A good movie for that category would be A Kid in King Arthur's Court. Have you ever seen that?
Oh,
the Disney one?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it has Daniel Craig in it, and I think like Kate Winslet or somebody else is one of the princesses.
No way.
I'm not shitting you.
I just remember the poster where the kid's like,
I got a football or a baseball and a sword.
And somehow, roller skates.
I hope I survive this castle because my dad's going to be at the game today. That's literally the plot of the movie. I saw it
It's
in
like
theaters.
all Disney movies
Yeah.
of that
Based
era.
on the novel Connecticut and King Arthur.
If I can just get home, my dad'll love me. Literally the movie.
Dad, when are we going to be a family again? I say when the Angels win the pennant.
Uh-huh.
That was a line in a movie. Angels in the outfield, guys.
That's it for me.
Cool.
James?
Just a couple things. I watched Logan this week, including I watched through the commentary, which was pretty good. I watched the commentary first and realized that movie can make me cry even when I'm watching the commentary, which is pretty great. Because it's almost better. Because then, like, when the really emotional parts come up, you know, you've got the director sitting there going, like, she really killed it on this scene. Like, you know, she was quiet the whole time, and then all of a sudden she comes out and she just starts yelling in Spanish, and it was really great. And you're like, yeah, it is really good. She's just so awesome. So that was
Get
great.
ready to do some more crying because I have a Logan poster for you.
Oh shit! Awesome, thank you, man.
Well, for
where did
everybody.
you pull that? Where did that come from? Where? How?
I just
had it the entire
I conjure things out of thin air, James. 6 years, you don't understand.
You're like a wizard. Oh my goodness.
For those at home, James's eyes are filling up with tears.
Look at him. Is little baby gonna cry?
She turns the crossover into an X.
Spoilers, bro.
Anyway, And I've been I'm in the middle of watching through Silence again. Silence is really good.
Do you own it?
Yeah, I did. I bought it
Silence
this
is
week.
golden.
Ooh,
It's
can
really
I
good.
borrow it?
No, I'm in the middle of watching it, Zach. Damn gosh. And then there's something else, and I'm forgetting it. Shit. There was something good.
After the show.
Is it a TV show? Is it a movie?
It's usually a
Drama,
Yep.
comedy,
Yep.
romance.
I don't remember. It's
Action.
okay. Ryan, you
Western.
go next, and I'll probably not remember.
I don't watch too much this week. I've been working so much, but I watched this movie called Sunny Boy, which is a Scream Factory release. When Tradesmart closed, I went and got a bunch of Scream Factory Blu-rays for like 40% off, the ones I wasn't sure about. And then this movie stars David Carradine as a transvestite.
Awesome.
And also has Brad Dourif plays like it's weird. So the opening, Brad Dourif goes and kills this couple to steal their car, and in the car there's this baby, and he drives the car home. And this one guy, I forget the actor's name, but he's in a lot of like 80s, 90s horror movies. If people saw him, you know who he is. So he stole this car for this guy, and they find out there's a baby in it, and then David Carradine's transvestite character like adopts the baby, but they're really mean to the baby throughout the beginning of the movie. And it turns into this big hulking thing that just kills people, and it's really weird and demented.
So it's like 3 men and a baby gone wrong.
Yes, exactly right.
Does David Carradine look better or worse than Willem Dafoe in drag in Boondock Saints?
It looks like the same because you can still tell it's David Carradine.
Okay.
And it's weird, but he's really good, and I'm not saying his performance isn't good. It's a really bizarre movie.
It's just a little like distracting. Is maybe the word?
No, I don't know if distracting, because I buy him, actually. I buy him as this character.
But
it's still, yeah.
Because
I
you're
think
not
it's-
expecting it?
Yeah, it's just the tone of the movie is really weird because it's kind of like this campy horror, weird, like, I don't know how to describe. You have to watch it. I can't even describe this movie.
I may have to look this up.
I'll let you borrow it. That's what it's about. This transvestite and her family raise this boy, and they're mean to him. Then he grows up and he kills people. And it's this weird kind of. And the movie's good. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe it to people, and I don't know if people should watch it. But someone like you might like it because it's like you like Serial Mom and kind of like goofy stuff
off
like
the
that.
wall shit.
Yeah, it's really off the wall, and I can't. But I mean, the performances are good, and if you're looking for kind of a different horror film, you can check it out. But
Okay.
I mean,
Sunny Boy.
yeah, I'll let you borrow it. Then
I
you can
heard
tell
the
me what
ti-
you think.
I heard the title, and at first I thought it was an Adam Sandler movie, and then I'm like, no, that's called That's My Boy.
Sunny S-O or S-U?
S.O. Yeah,
They play the song by Al Jolson, Sunny Boy.
they do. No.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and that's really all I watched. I watched some more of The Office, and I watched some Batman the Animated Series. I love the. I watched Heart of Ice, which is great. Obviously, I watched one of my favorites is actually Feet of Clay. I love those two parts because I think the Feet of Clay is maybe the best writing in it. Clayface, because he's so. It's about a guy who's so vain that he puts this clay on his face to be handsome all the time, if people don't know, and then he turns into Clayface because he ODs on it. And I always thought the ending was creepy when he's in this control room and his face is morphing into all the people and he can't control his ability anymore, and Batman knows that, and he just like collapses into this hulking like morphing thing. And it's great. Heart of Ice, I mean, what else can you say about that episode? Is really moving, and what I liked about that episode too is it made a villain from Batman that was always kind of hokey and gave him a purpose, and I think that's the most brilliant part
This
of
is
that
the one with
episode.
Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, because before he was just some goofball that shot a freeze laser.
He was Otto Preminger in the 60s.
Exactly, and
George Sanders sometimes.
He was Captain Cold.
He was many Germans.
Yeah,
there are 4 actors that played him in that show.
And then this one, they're like, well, his wife he froze his wife because he's trying to cure her, and then she was murdered by the rich guy, and it gave him a story, and I really
thought it was
liked that.
Poison Ivy.
No,
This is a one-woman show.
I forgot to say, Ryan, that right before I came over here, I was watching World's Finest.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that show! Like, first of all, the animation for that whole thing is just amazing, but the writing is just it's tight.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I watched Batgirl Returns. I'm a big Batgirl fan, and that one was fun. It's her and Supergirl team up with against Poison Ivy and Killer Frost, I think.
Yeah.
No. What's the electric one?
Elektra?
No, it's gosh darn it. I
don't
can't
know.
remember her name. Livewire.
Oh, yeah.
And that one's pretty fun because Batman and Superman are out of town and they have to beat them. And then I always watch the Harley episodes because I love Harley Quinn.
I like the Christmas episode with the Joker
Yep, that's a good one.
because he sings Jingle Bells and the camera pans out as he's in a cell and he's just like "Jolly to all ye faithful," like whichever Christmas carol he was singing.
It's just the first one with Harley Quinn is called the Joker's Favor, and that episode is actually really really good too. In it, this guy's driving home and he's all pissed and he's like, "No one's gonna push around." I forget his name, Charles something anymore. So he's like, "Yeah, buddy," he starts yelling, and it turns out it's the Joker. And so then the Joker chases him down. And he says, "You're just gonna owe me a favor." And it's like 3 or 4 years later, he tracks him down and he makes him do this stuff. And Harley's really good in it, and you can see how she kind of became a breakout character because of it.
What's the name of the episode where they're all around a card table and they're talking about the time they
Almost got him.
Almost got him. That's right.
It's a great episode too. That show's really great. There's a couple episodes that are meh, but like with Zeus, but usually they're pretty good. So yeah, Amazon has them where you can download them. So I always keep them on my iPad if I'm out and about. I'm like, I'll just watch something. And yeah, Perchance a Dream. I love that one. Yep,
Cool.
That's what I watched. Real news.
It's real news.
They might be bringing back the Animaniacs, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the second most exciting and weird news since the Rocketeer. Hey, but speaking of which, did you guys hear that they're making another Rocketeer? And it's not even like a remake; they're making a sequel.
Yeah,
it's crazy, just crazy.
We get it.
There's.
I'm just curious if the Animaniacs will get away with what they did in the early 90s.
Oh, no.
It would be. I think you absolutely could. Animaniacs was
3D too.
really smart. Like,
no, that's what I mean. It's
yeah.
I don't know.
So since it came out on streaming last year, it's gotten really popular because it was always really popular, and but people just weren't paying attention. So there's been rumblings over at Amblin that they might be, trying to figure out a way to bring that show back.
I'm down,
which would be fantastic because it's genuinely one of the best cartoons that I've ever watched.
By one of the greatest directors of all time.
Well, by the greatest director of all time,
Mm-hmm.
produced by. So yeah, I think that would be amazing. But yeah, if you don't stick to that same tone where it's like there was so many jokes in that show that were way over my head. Like I didn't know who Jerry Lewis was, but man, there was a lot of Jerry Lewis in that show.
You have to keep it zany to the max.
Exactly.
You
like,
just didn't have baloney in your slacks.
yeah, if you don't do that stuff, I honestly I don't want it. I wouldn't want it to be like too self-referential either. Like you should make it the same way. Like if those writers were able to just pick that show back up again, that's what I would want. So yeah, and some new stuff, right? Like I don't just want homages to the old show.
Oh,
like
no.
don't just bring back all the same characters again. Like that kind of a really smart cartoon show would be great.
I better get Buttons and Mindy back.
And dear Lord, if they like the Brack show, this thing where it's like, oh, it's them, but now they live in a house with a wacky mom and dad, and every episode is one story. I'm gonna like scratch my own eyes out. We got a trailer for the Murder on the Orient Express this week,
which is awesome until the song. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was just gonna say, which is I was really hesitant when I saw the stills. I love Murder on the Orient Express. My mom's a huge Agatha Christie fan, so I grew up like watching the old Hercule Poirot films and episodes that were on the
Here's some Friday the 13th
PBS.
Trivia.
Yeah.
10 Little Indians is the basis of that.
Of Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that the one that she also refers to in And Then There Were None? The 10 Little Indians poem or something?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like 10
so,
little Indians, and then it goes on until like
there's
none left. And then there were none.
Or there's the mice one. She also has one that's about the mice. I can't remember that one.
Agatha Christie is like
She wrote a lot
deep.
of a lot of books. And Murder on the Orient Express is maybe the best one. certainly one of the coolest. I saw the original film
By Sidney
man.
Lumet.
Yeah, man, I was probably like 8 or 9. And it's just fantastic. And when I first saw the stills, I was like, man, Johnny Depp. So, and then, like, as much as I love Kenneth Branagh, when I saw him with that mustache, I was like, that you literally were like, how can I make this character my own? Oh, instead of having it be a very thin mustache, it's gonna be like Magnum PI's eyebrows are on my face.
So
It's
the best
time
mustache ever.
time period accurate.
It's actually really cool. Like, once I saw it in the movie, I was like, oh, I'm totally on board now. It was
I
just
thought
something
it was
about
weird. I thought,
Yeah?
I mean, like, it looked like his mustache was a different color than the rest of his hair or something.
Well, it's just great. Well, okay.
Like, his hair was, like, blonde and his mustache was gray.
Corinne, when you become an old man, what you will find is that your hair grays in different levels.
When I become an old
And
man.
I can tell you, like, my dad, when he got to be about the age that Kenneth Branagh is, his, like, mustache, it was actually really awesome. Like, his mustache was still dark, like a black, but then he grew it out, like, as a handlebar, and by the bottom of the handle, you remember the guy from the Orange County Choppers, right? Where, like, at the bottom it was gray, but it gradiented up into black? It was exactly like that. So it's actually true. Like, your facial hair can gray at different levels than I bet that's his real hair. I bet that's Kenneth Branagh's actual hair.
I'd believe it. Anything with Dame Judi Dench in it, I'll see.
Yeah.
She's
I
awesome.
actually think the trailer is pretty
Brandon's
great.
like, after thousands of roles, I can finally be myself.
Now, I also hope that the trailer is not a scene from the movie.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
I think it's like it's an actual teaser.
Yeah, I think it's almost like he's doing like a 50s trailer, where it's or like a play.
Yeah.
Where you're like walking through the characters, which is really kind of cool. Until that song happens.
What was that about?
And then it's like, what did someone tell you this needed to be like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Like, what are you doing?
But it's Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully the movie's great and has none of that music in it.
I don't think it will. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah. I also just love Kenneth Branagh, and
Me too.
I think him doing that character in that movie will be.
And such a great title. I love the title.
Yeah, it's
Movie
really
on
good.
Maybe
the
it was
Orient
just
Express.
because it was so close to the release of the new Beauty and the Beast, but anytime he talked, I was like, he just sounds like he's doing Lumiere's voice.
So speaking of great titles, Ryan, how do you feel about Top Gun Maverick?
Fuck yeah.
I really hope it takes place in the Wild West.
Well, I heard it's Tom Cruise is trying to live in a world where they don't man aircraft anymore, so it's like drones fighting, and he's like a man at a time.
Shit, what's that Jessica Biel movie?
Eagle Eye?
No. Stealth. It's like Stealth,
Sure.
but with Top Gun.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense. I mean, actually,
Yeah.
I would just call it Maverick, but what do I know?
That's true, because I'm sure, like...
You got to keep that franchise title in there so like people who are 30 years younger know what you're talking about.
I want to
Unfortunately,
call it Top Gun Playing with the Boys.
It's actually just a volleyball
It's
movie.
just a big volleyball movie.
That's all my wife remembers about that movie.
It's like in
It's a good
30
scene.
Rock. They make that joke to Liz Lemon's boyfriend, who's played by Matt Damon. They're like, what was the Air Force like? Was it like Top Gun? They're like, yeah, except there was a lot more volleyball.
It's because they're always high-fiving each other in that scene.
Yeah.
Like
You
in
know,
a cool way.
They're just encouraging.
They are.
They're just a
I
good,
need to watch Top Gun.
good group of guys who
And
like
spoiler
encouraging
for your
each
birthday,
other.
Brad. That's what you're getting for your birthday.
Fuck.
This fucker's saying I've never watched Top Gun.
I haven't either.
You haven't?
Nope.
Everybody who's
No.
told me they haven't watched Top Gun is getting it for their birthday.
Wow.
I have,
I
but
think it was on
haven't,
Netflix
so
for a
it's
while.
my birthday.
I was going to say, I've not seen Top Gun, Ryan.
Well, then you know what you're getting for your birthday.
Yes. Oh, man, I love Top Gun.
I do keep on forgetting to bring you the Resident Evil collection, Zach.
It's all good.
you know it's funny.
Best, the guy at the counter at Best Buy goes like, "Sir, why are you buying 5 copies of Top Gun? I have shitty friends."
I do. They don't understand what an awesome movie is.
You know what's funny is we're going to be in a theater that plays movies like Top Gun, and we're going to be playing video games instead
Yep.
for my birthday.
And you'll be getting Top Gun for your birthday.
I'm just saying we should be watching on the screen, but no.
No, that's all right. I'd rather play video games.
No, you need to watch it in the quiet confines of your room where there are no
Headphones
distractions.
on. You can feel the Tony Scott direction.
Yeah,
Where I
you
can
need
take it to the limit.
You need to feel when
Is that from that movie?
No.
The shit goes down, man.
You need to feel the need for speed. That's in that movie.
Take me
You
to
just got to
bed.
make sure you don't lose that love and feeling.
My favorite line from that movie is "Take me to bed or lose me forever." I think that line is really good.
Yeah, I love it when he's like chasing her down and "Take My Breath Away" is kind of playing in the background. And he says, "You think I'm a loose cannon? You're crazy, lady!" And then they start fucking.
In like a blue room.
Yep.
Why is everything blue?
I don't know. Because it's sexy.
80s.
It was
Yeah,
the 80s.
it's just so hot, man.
It is.
Tony Scott knew how to make things sexy.
Did all you see is like bodies like moving.
Except for Domino Harvey.
There's there's no nudity, but for some reason it's sexy.
It's just the best.
Yep. Took my breath away. And if you go to realnerdspodcast.com and look up the ranking of Tom Cruise's movies, that's my number one Tom Cruise movie. Not because I think it's his best movie. I think the movie, I can't remember why I put it ahead. I can't think right now. Anyways, I don't think it's his best movie, but I think it's the movie that is Tom Cruise, if that makes any sense.
Top Gun is Tom Cruise.
Like
Yes.
the essential.
It is
if
the
you were
essential
gonna watch
Tom Cruise
any
movie.
Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe A Few Good Men.
I say Magnolia,
Few
but we
Good
always
Men.
have a preference.
He's not in it enough for it to be an essential Tom Cruise movie. But he's great in it.
He's
What else
fun,
is for
though.
real news,
I have to
James?
cut out the entire section of the show because James sang the entire Berlin song.
Hey, it's okay. You know what? Just lose his track by mistake. On accident.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear that they cast Tom Hardy as Venom?
No, tell me about it. I haven't heard anything about this.
Fucking Venom's going to be the death of me.
Got you covered for
I
this
just want
week.
you to call
I w-
in each week saying, guys, Tom Hardy's going to be Venom.
I was at.
So, in other news this week, the Spider-Man 3 editor's cut was released on the internet. No, sorry.
I
Ryan,
was
go
released on
ahead.
Amazon accident. No, I'm such a Spider-Man snob. So Andrew bought like a huge Spider-Man collection. I think it's like issue like 17 all the way to like 400. And so this guy comes up, he's like, you have issue 300? It's the first appearance of Venom. And I roll my eyes. I am that fucking Spider-Man fan. I'm like, fuck Venom. He's all right.
You know, what's funny is that I was at my friend Jesse's video game party this weekend, and they were talking about comic book collections, and he brought up like, someone asked like, Jesse, what's your like most expensive comic book? You know, and he said Spider-Man 300.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's worth a lot of money. Doesn't mean it's any good. No, his first couple appearances are all right.
Did I know there was an editor's cut of Spider-Man 3?
Well, I did mention a few weeks ago that they're floating around that there is an extra cut of Spider-Man 3 on the new limited edition set that's coming out. But they don't. I guess they just cut out a few scenes.
Did they cut out the dancing?
No, because that's awesome. No, that scene's awesome.
Now dig on this.
Now, Dion, this.
It's because he's making her jealous, guys.
Yeah.
And he put his hair down in bangs. I love that scene. I think
Spider-Man
it's
3,
good.
Peter Parker acts like a 5-year-old.
I like emo Peter Parker.
I do too. I think because and I listen. If you listen to the commentary, that's heavily edited because Sam Raimi said he did that because he wanted people to miss the old Peter Parker, and it works because you don't like when Peter Parker's a butthead.
You're so immediately annoyed by Peter Parker. You're like, why are you an asshole?
And what's brilliant about that scene, if you watch, I've seen the movie a lot and I defend it all the time, but there's a scene where he's walking and he thinks he's cool, but if you watch everyone in the background, like, what is the fuck wrong with this guy? And that's
Which doing that in New York tells you something.
Yeah.
'Cause they're used to anything happening.
Yep. I love Sam Raimi.
I genuinely
Smart
can't
best.
get that song out of my head now. That feels terrible. You can't see Wonder Woman in Lebanon,
Yeah.
which is stupid.
Yeah, because
She's
talk
Israeli.
about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because she's Israeli. Who cares?
Yep.
Like it matters.
Apparently the Lebanese care.
I know, but I know, but why?
Well, their
But-
government does.
Yeah, their
People probably
government
want it.
does. I bet the people don't.
Yeah. Some of them probably do, but they're racist. So that's
exactly.
too bad.
It's stupid.
Fuck 'em.
Please don't bomb
That's
it.
racist.
Is it racist?
Yeah. No, there's no. It's like that's the worst game show ever because it's really obviously racist. Anytime that you say because of race, It's racist.
And every time you're like, oh, the world's coming along. Donald Trump's president, and the Lebanese won't show a movie with a Israeli lead. You're like, not that far.
Why did you say Donald Trump's
One step
president
at a
and then
time.
point to me? I had nothing to do with it, Ryan.
I know.
Not true. I spoke to Vladimir Putin every
Did
day.
you?
Yes, I did.
That's huge.
Come and get me, boys.
Take my breath away. Sorry, what are we doing next?
I don't know.
How about instead you do
that's everything.
Danger Zone?
Yeah.
That
Get
I
on
think
some
of.
Kenny Loggins, like,
Danger
I'm
Zone.
alright. Nobody worry about me.
Welcome to the last episode of the Real News Podcast, everybody.
So much copyright infringement.
No.
What did I
'cause
miss?
Mine's a parody, so sorry.
Brad, did I miss some news?
Netflix axed a bunch of their shows.
True.
And the one I care about is with Bob and David.
Oh,
So that sucks.
Oh, that's
that
too bad.
got axed?
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
They axed tons.
I mean, I imagine it was maybe not that they didn't want it, but it was hard to get those guys together for another season.
Probably.
Fair, yeah.
So it's just easier to get
Yeah, and
rid
all
of
their
it.
shows are expensive now.
Yeah, but
Is it still
that
gonna
one
be
didn't
on
look
the
that
Netflix
expensive.
on
That's what I
service?
don't know. If they'll just, even if they're not making new ones, I don't know if they'll
Oh.
keep the old stuff on there or
No,
not.
they'll
but
totally keep the old
I
stuff.
imagine
on
they
there.
have to, because
Yeah.
why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's just more content, but
Other than just
but-
taking space on their servers.
yeah, they're just gonna not spend money on another season of Sense8 for no one to watch.
But it does worry
Oh
me
my
because I
gosh,
was
it seems like everybody I know watches Sense8.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they threw a fit when they found out it was canceled.
Oh.
that's when I
Never
think it
watched
might have
it.
been too expensive to keep, maybe.
And then they make crap like Anne with an E, which is nothing like the original book. Don't watch it. If you
believe
are a
that's even a
fan of
title.
Anne of Green Gables, don't watch it. It's crap.
Oh, wait, it's based on Anne of Green Gables?
Correct.
I saw the poster. I'm like, no, I'm not watching that. That looks like sappy and romantic.
Yeah, it is.
Guys, the only
I was so
important
honest.
show on Netflix is MST3K: The Return. Just watch it, keep watching it, keep watching it. I want another season. God damn it!
Maybe they should put Adam Sandler in it.
Wow.
The most watched stuff, they said that there's over 1 million hours of people watching Adam Sandler stuff on that.
I know.
I did watch The Water Boy. I forgot to talk about it.
Yeah. Bobby Boucher.
You're a part of the problem, man.
Yep. Sorry.
No, Waterboy's funny.
Yeah, it's all right. It's I probably haven't seen it since like high school, and some of the effects and things.
Oh, yeah, I
and
mean, it's
some of
not-
the humor just takes me right back to like a real more juvenile time.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's still fun. I still laugh every time Henry Winkler pulls down his pants. He's like, what Mama doesn't know can't hurt her, and he has a tattoo on his ass. I think it's funny. But I like Adam Sandler. I like juvenile humor, so
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
That's everything I got.
Okay, what's coming out on Blu-ray?
DVD releases and Blu-rays. Shit. Nothing but garbage. Despicable Me 1 and 2 are coming out on 4K this week. So...
The first one was so good.
Was it?
See, James
Yes.
has predisposed that he won't like it, so he won't go see the third one because he already hates the first two, and he won't go with an open mind.
Okay, I
Is
think
it just
that's
because
fair.
of the Minions?
Like, at one point, is it fair to be like...
am I
Are
seeing the
you-
new Transformers movie?
No, he did. See
yes, but that's because
Minions,
you
but
have to and because they're
would you
great.
think- if you think his venom towards Despicable Me 1 and 2 is bad, you should hear him talk about Minions.
Hey,
No,
hey,
is it
I like
because
the
of the
first 10
Minions?
minutes. No.
You don't like Despicable Me, the
Yeah,
first one?
yeah, I don't like that movie because it's
Because-
bad.
No.
Yeah, it is. There's this one great part of Despicable Me where he's reading the book to the children, and it's the little finger book, and he looks at them and goes, "You guys like this? This is garbage." And that's how I feel about Despicable Me. Dread is out on Blu-ray or on 4K this week, which is a great movie.
You know what it cracks me up is, so I was at Target and they have these like new 10-year anniversary like Transformer covers. Oh man, I'm like, oh, those are awesome. And then when I see the trailer for the new one, I'm like, Michael Bay
It
tricks.
looks like such
But his
garbage.
his shots look so cool. I'm like, he tricks me into like wanting to see this movie.
I realized, so before Wonder Woman, I saw the trailer and I was like, there's actually no difference between this trailer and the Geostorm trailer.
No.
Like, they're both just Roland Emmerich, like, nothing but destruction.
But I will say, the Transformers looks like it's shot cooler.
Oh, yeah. Transformers looks like a way better version of Independence Day Reemittance, where, like, something giant is running into the planet. Only in this one, I'm like, look at all that CG. There's so many things in that CG. Oh, it's so bad.
Can
It's
I
gonna-
just
it's gonna
say
be great.
that when I was rewatching 30 Rock a couple weeks ago, there's this episode where Liz is afraid she's going to lose her job, and so she like takes this sad walk down the sidewalk, and she sees a poster for Transformers 5, and you have to remember that this was like 7 years ago that they made this episode.
Yeah.
And it's like Transformers 5, written by no one. I'm like, so prophetic.
That's entirely possible. Yeah. Ex Machina is out on 4K this week, which
I love that movie.
man, yeah,
That's got to look amazing.
yeah. Just the cover's cool.
And
good.
who doesn't love Alicia Vikander? Oh, I love that woman.
And then really rounding out the 4K release this week is Snitch with Dwayne Johnson.
Hell
The movie
yeah.
Where he drives a truck and fucks some guys up.
It's funny. I saw that in theaters, and I bought the Blu-ray when it was $4.99. I haven't
Yep.
seen it. It's still sitting
Really?
wrapped on my shelf. I'm like, I should watch that.
It was good. I remember liking it. I think at the end, like a truck rolls over or something.
Yeah.
He fights some guys.
It's more like
cool.
a drama, though.
He
Oh,
fucks
yeah.
some guys up.
It's very Walking Tallish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't his son like go to prison and he's
Yeah.
like break him
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
to prove his
something like
innocence.
that.
Remember,
Yeah.
he goes undercover.
Yeah, he walks into like drug dealers' houses and punches them.
Yep.
It's great.
Just like the Dwayne The Rock Johnson does.
Gore Verbinski's A Cure for Wellness is out on Blu-ray this week.
Was
which-
apparently not this movie.
What?
The Cure for Wellness.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody see that? Was it good?
I did.
Brad? Yeah.
I
You-
read Letterboxd. Apparently, Henry saw it too.
I think, didn't you wanted someone else to see it so that, like, yeah. I'm
It
going
was
to
alright.
probably buy it because
It's long, unnecessarily long, and like the third
That's
act
what she said.
devolves into like I don't know, an action blockbuster. Weirdly, yeah,
The trailers were really like spooky.
yeah,
Kinda
Usually
made me
he's a
curious.
cool
it
director.
visually
but-
looked really cool. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, the mystery's not that interesting.
Because I like Dane DeHaan, too. DeHaan.
Was it Soylent Green? Soylent Green is people.
Yeah, similar things going on. Also, like the main character is pretty unlikable. Like
Oh, okay.
he comes into the story as a complete shithead, and then he leaves slightly better off.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
he doesn't really earn his victory, but anyway.
Maybe the best movie releasing this week is United Kingdom, which I really wanted to see, but it was, in and out really quick. That's the movie where a white woman marries the king of some country in Africa.
That's a good.
Yeah. And he's like, "That's my wife."
Is
He's
the
like
actress
stands on
in
a
it?
car at the end, and he's like,
I like the
"That's my
actress.
wife." It's Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, she's good.
So yeah.
That lady
I actually
that done that fucked up shit and got a girl.
Yes, she's the one with the knife. The first season of The Young Pope is out. Or, wait, no, it's not even a season. Wasn't that just a thing? It's either the first season or just a thing.
Or the miniseries.
Oh no, it does say season 1. Okay, cool. So the first season of The Young Pope.
Can't wait for the middle-aged pope.
It's Jude Law. I don't know how young he is, but he's young for a pope.
He's
You know.
like 40s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty young for a pope.
Still handsome.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy. Anyway, so if you want to see the first season of that, you can buy that along with the first season of Van Helsing, which I didn't know was a thing.
It's from Sci-Fi. Of course you didn't know.
Okay.
That channel still exists.
Ooh, I like this.
Bill Murray in Where the Buffalo Roam is out on Blu-ray this week from
How's that
Shout Select.
Yes.
Shout Select's new title they announced this week is Mr. Mom. I'll be getting that.
Yep.
Ah.
Where the Buffalo Roam, like, I love Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but this is technically a better Hunter S. Thompson adaptation.
I still keep praying that Shout Select's going to put out Last Action Hero.
Maybe. Who owns it? Fox?
Sony.
Yeah.
TriStar.
Okay.
They need to put that out with like special features. Going to talk about how everyone was pissed off making it.
Oh shit, guys! The best Blu-ray of the week.
Omar Epps and Tupac Shakur in Juice coming to Blu-ray this week. So
Some people say that killed Tupac's career.
oh man.
More than his career.
Bitch, look at me.
Look at Corinne. Look at me like I'm an asshole. Are you a Tupac fan?
Nope. I don't really care.
I hate you for some reason.
And very lastly, in case you can't stay up till 2 a.m. anymore, now you can buy the complete series of Becker on Blu-ray for your convenience.
Wait, was that the Ted Danson show?
Yes.
I think my mom really
Where
liked that show.
Where it's basically House, but he's not as smart and more of an asshole.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of the different one.
Yeah.
Probably Cheers. My mom's old.
Cheers, also good. Cheers usually came on right before Becker.
There's like a bunch of complete
the one
series
where
that I'll
he's
see
like
from
a
time to time. One of them I
football
saw at the
coach or
store was the complete
No,
series
that's
of Pete
Coach.
and Eddie.
Coach.
I was like, I want to buy this so bad, but I don't know why.
Last week they had a complete series of The Office for like $40. I've always been waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. But then while I was watching the episodes, I realized that the episode where Michael falls into the carp
The koi
pond doesn't have the original opening where Michael drops like from a noose in the warehouse in front of a bunch of kids.
That's right. For the Halloween
NBC
ride.
edited it, yeah.
Oh, it's not on it?
It's not on, yeah.
On the Netflix one?
It's not on Netflix. I'm like, is it on the DVD, though?
It is on the DVD because I have
it?
it. I have it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to get it then.
What season is it? 6?
Season 6, I think, yeah.
I'll double check tonight and I'll let you know.
Let me know, yeah.
Yeah.
But
The weirdest thing to me about Becker is that the like really dumb.
Why the fuck are we talking about Becker?
Hold on. I'm going to take this someplace. The really dumb assistant that he had ends up being the woman in the Saw series who like gets murdered by the Jigsaw guy, but then ends up being like the Jigsaw guy's like lady who helps him.
Amanda?
Yeah.
Shawnee Smith.
Yeah, her. Yeah. She was in. So when that happened in Saw, everybody was talking about like, oh yeah, that lady, and I was like, oh yeah, the girl from Becker.
You know a lot about Becker.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of it, dude. When you're up at 2:00 in the morning, you know what you have to watch?
Infomercials.
Becker.
Or I go to my Blu-rays. I'm like, oh, I'll watch this instead.
Not when you're in middle school.
Would you like the complete 25
okay, my VHSs.
CD collection of
Friday 13th,
romance
Jason
songs?
Lives.
Yes, Time
Order
Life,
now.
give it all to me.
$25.99.
Do I want TV's most hilarious bloopers from the 70s? Yes, I do.
Call them next 10 minutes and you'll receive a free T-shirt.
Time Life, ladies and gentlemen. It was a thing, and apparently still is a thing.
Yep. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Wonder Woman. Corinne, do you want me to start with you or end with you?
No, go.
All right, Brad, should people see Wonder Woman?
oh, that was a mistake.
Why, Brad?
Okay, so I do think it's a good movie. There's a couple like nitpicky filmmakery things I have, but damn, I forgot what my whole thing I was going to say.
Yes or no? Should they see it?
Yes, you should see it. It's almost great.
Zach?
I actually really enjoyed this film. I would recommend anybody go see it. Gal Gadot is great. I think it's a very well-directed film.
Godot.
Good. Gal Gadot. And I like Patty Jenkins' take on the whole premise. Like, it felt a little bit more like a Richard Donner film than necessarily what's been doing for the past couple of DCEU films. So, yeah, I like the change of pace.
James?
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like this movie, so I guess you should go see it. It's.
We didn't ask what they thought. We thought.
No, I know.
Evading the issue.
So here's the thing. I think this movie is really good, and they did a fine job, and I would probably put it on par with maybe even Captain America: First Avenger, because both the movies are like have problems. I think they taped this thing together with Scotch tape enough that it's actually pretty good, and I had an enjoyable time, but I have a few problems with it. But yeah, I think you know if you go, you're probably gonna have a good time. You know, just don't expect it to be as great as some of the things that we've seen. So,
Corinne?
I kind of agree with everybody's comments. I think it was a good time. It's definitely worth seeing. So yes, my answer is yes. Go see it. But I would say lower your expectations a little bit. You know, I saw it on Thursday night, so like at that point, it was just like those initial critical reviews of everybody saying like, oh, it's the best thing that DC's ever done since The Dark Knight, and blah 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 blah, and
still
like
true.
A++++. And I'm like, it was good, but it wasn't that good. So I would give it like an A- if I had to give it a letter grade. So, but it did. I thought it had some problems, but on the whole, good movie. Definitely worth seeing in the theaters.
Wow, I'm going to be the only one here. I think it's one of the best movies of the year. I had tons of fun in this movie. I was actually shocked in how much fun I had in it. It has very, very few nitpicky things. Very few. No, it doesn't, James.
We'll get into that.
Quit being so negative. What's wrong with
I
you?
can't help it.
Brad, why do Mom and Dad keep fighting?
Come on, let's go outside.
Because James is like the internet troll where he's like,
Oh, fuck off.
I can just get him going. It's so easy. No, I had it's a lot of fun watching this movie, and I think Gal Gadot is amazing in this movie. I didn't know she could act.
Gal Gadot.
Did you see Fast Five?
I did. I know she has a great ass, but I didn't know she could. That's all. Like, have you seen Fast Five? Like, there's a shot of her butt.
She's pretty good. Well, yeah. I mean, that scene, yes.
Yeah,
she's pretty good.
But I mean, she's great in it. And
Didn't she do a good job in Batman v Superman? Haven't you
yeah,
seen that?
yeah. But her whole
That
arc
movie-
was like,
her-
I'm fighting.
Her character was mostly Junkie XL in Batman vs Superman.
But no, I had a hell of a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was awesome. Is it my number one movie of the year? Maybe. I don't know.
Wow. You haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet.
I said maybe.
Wonder Woman versus Logan. Showdown begins.
Here's a trailer for Wonder Woman.
The gods gave us many gifts. One day you'll know them all. This is where we keep them.
It's beautiful. Who would wield it?
Only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana. You will train her harder than any Amazon before her. 5 times harder. 10 times harder.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair.
Until she is better than even you. But she must never know the truth about what she is.
What is this place? Who are you?
It is our sacred duty to defend the world.
Right. Whoever you are in more danger than you think.
Be careful, Diana.
If no one else will defend the world, then I must.
Welcome to jolly old London.
It's hideous.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Step back. Or maybe not. Is there anything else you want to show me?
I am Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Hippolyta. In the name of all that is good, your wrath upon this world is over.
Yep, that's not gonna work. Please put the sword down.
It doesn't go with the outfit.
At all.
So it's a superhero origin story that's told during World War I, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Agreed. I like that they went to World War One.
Yeah, it's you don't see it.
We don't have enough. Yeah, we don't get enough of it. It's like this and Flyboys.
Yeah, and we all know how Flyboys turned out.
And Warhorse. Yeah,
Warhorse.
No,
is
they're
great.
good. They're good. Flyboys is okay.
Downton
It's a
Abbey
little
season
messy,
2.
but
Too much
Very
tea.
true.
So specific.
No, she's right.
I wish that was the subtitle for Downton Abbey too.
So much tea.
Too much tea.
I mean, it makes sense because we're in that time frame where we had the living veterans from World War II, and there was a lot of that material to work from. They had those directors go out. Was it you who was watching that series?
The
of
five
all
came back, yeah.
all the directors who went and shot film for World War II. So it makes sense why we have so many World War II movies. But to have a World War I movie was refreshing, and I like that.
And it's not necessarily it's a very complicated war.
Yes.
There's not a lot of clear lines about that war.
It's also kind of a boring war because you basically just die because you're standing in the mud.
Someone pointed out that it's like the last time, it's before technology takes over, so it's brutal because it's just people with bayonets and people riding horseback and
mustard gas and all that.
You have tanks, but the tanks are more deadly if you're in them than if you're around them.
Yeah.
It's a rough war.
I mean, Bart Simpson said it best. There are no good wars, only bad wars, with the following exceptions: the American Revolution, World War II, and the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
But so it's her origin story. She's grows up on Themyscira, and Steve Trevor crashes, and she goes and fights in World War I, and it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I will say that whole first section is pretty great. Even the things that like I was worried about in the trailer, because I think the trailer wasn't well built, but like when you get that moment where like she blocks Robin Wright and like knocks her back or whatever, and you're like, oh okay, yeah. I mean, I knew what was actually going on the whole time. Like I think you were supposed to already know.
I hope so.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But maybe people are dense and don't know who Wonder Woman is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
But
was one of those dense people. I'm not so familiar with Wonder Woman.
well, but I just mean like the movie. I think communicates it intentionally,
She has extra powers,
so that you know, like
as compared to her sisters.
the sword isn't the thing. The sword's just a sword. You know, like
Yeah.
you know.
It's a MacGuffin.
But isn't in the comics like the sword is like so powerful that it could cut through an atom or something?
Probably.
It's like so sharp.
But it's not the God Killer.
No.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I thought that whole first section, and the little girl was great.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was so cute.
Yeah.
No, and even this the first part where the Germans start invading, I thought was badass. I mean, I love seeing an island is full of these like warrior women just annihilating people, and you get on board, you're like, oh, they're doing like cool like backflips and shooting tons
Oh,
of
yeah.
arrows, and
This movie made me like speed ramps again. Like genuinely, like it was having and at first I was like, oh no, this movie's going to be a lot of speed ramps. And then every time they happened, I was like, but this is awesome. Like, cause it was kind of like the Spider-Man thing where like every time they would do a speed ramp, it was a really great frame of a comic.
Yeah.
You know, like you wanted to see that cool imagery. It was great.
yeah. Then Wonder Woman, Diana, she realizes that there's a huge war going on, and that her whole purpose is to protect people.
Yeah.
And so she goes to this war, so naive to think that getting rid of one person can save what?
Oh, no, keep going.
No, go. You did.
No, I've just been thinking about like what I was trying to remember earlier was like I wish this movie was pretty much just only focused on the fact that like if she was this naive girl who was like a fish out of water,
Yeah.
which is odd because for someone who's so like for a culture that's so isolated, they still know a lot about the outside world, which like because they can decipher all these languages, but they're clueless about a bunch of other things. Like it just is odd. But I wish the movie's focus was mostly that she's so idealistic and that right and wrong is so black and white. I didn't feel like it translated well in her arc at the end, that like she still seems super naive, like she didn't really learn that the world is black and white, and they really should have played up the fact that this is a war that doesn't have Hitler, so they really should have explored like why are the Germans fighting the British. It just felt very one-sided, and she should have been able to she should have been the one that had to figure out like what's the problem with this, other than I know she's out there because of Ares.
Yeah.
Like that's her whole goal, but I wish Ares actually wasn't a part of this at all, because it just oversimplifies a huge problem and turns into this like action blockbuster, which I get is what they have to do to make money, but I felt
was
like
an interesting
the third
point.
act just like took a nosedive for me when Ares shows up, because it felt like really
Oh no,
No, you're fine.
We're well into spoilers. It's okay.
yeah, it just felt like really like this unnecessary twist.
And you didn't say it was David Thewlis. Who's awesome.
Yeah. Which, and also
I mean,
another
it's
movie
also
this
obvious.
summer.
Law
Another
and
movie this
Order
summer that's
rules.
like super expositional. Like his whole thing describing like his motivations is like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed with
11
that,
to
yeah.
12.
And the opposite of what I actually wanted him to show up like a Satan-esque character and basically just whisper in her ear and tell her like, nah, like you don't understand and you are so naive and out of your element and you don't have any chance here, and just leave. Like I actually didn't want her to fight him. I wanted him to be way more menacing than that, especially because it's David Thewlis and he's awesome.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he showed up, I was like, hey, he's the bad guy. Like, unless this is Kingdom of Heaven, he's totally the bad guy.
Well, kind of along Brad's comments, I did kind of wonder, because, obviously Steve Trevor's an American, so although he's wearing German colors when he lands, but then when the Germans attack, and so she joins Steve Trevor's side, and it's like, well, what would have happened if Steve Trevor had been a German, like really, and the Americans had attacked the Themyscira?
Yeah.
Would that have gone from the other side? Like she would have walked across that battlefield and she would have been going into the American trenches. and like freeing those towns that like all the Americans had taken over, and like
Well, I mean,
been a bunch of assholes too.
America.
Hold on. Ryan's trying to formulate a response really quickly.
No, it's.
I mean, I get why.
No,
Yeah,
but
Just
right.
based on, like, the comics
it is a movie.
And of course, it's an American movie.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because in World War I, the Germans did stomp people, destroy villages, and the only people that stopped them were the Americans who crushed them.
Yeah.
That once America got involved, Americans were only in the war for 2 years.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. That's my history lesson for the day.
But my point, I mean, I'm
her
not
point
saying
is just
like
if someone else had a
Yeah, no,
is
I
bad
get
on
it.
both sides.
I get
like,
it.
Not like the Americans or the Allies
It would
or
have been
whatever
more
they call
challenging
them.
material.
The good guys, not like they were perfect and they were all like hunky dory
pretty
over
much.
on their side of the.
Yeah.
So if she stopped all war, what happened to Hitler?
No, she learned the lesson that she can't.
Okay. All right.
Well, but at the scene at the end,
No, I thought
like,
you were insinuating that, and I'm like,
Well,
wait,
anyway.
that doesn't make any sense.
No, I was just insinuating that she's at the end of the movie. She still seems very like Superman-esque, like the Boy Scouty, where there's just good and evil out there, and I have to stop it. Whereas it should be that she's like she understands that humanity. It's not so much Ares is poisoning them. It's like men's souls themselves are just kind of like morally ambiguous. But at the same time, like her last line, what is it? It's not about what they deserve; it's what they believe, what you believe. I'm like, how do those things like counteract each other?
Yeah, it's some real lame rhetoric that you throw into like a voiceover when you're scotch taping a movie back together to try and make it make sense. Like her whole bookend to me is the worst part of the movie. Like she's really good in the movie, and then you get this awful voiceover of nonsense that just doesn't. There's no real emotion there, and so my biggest complaint is I don't think she has really much to do. Like she doesn't really add much to this story in a. Oh man, I'm gonna really pick the fight in a Katniss Everdeen style way. Like she doesn't really do a whole lot. Like she's powerful and cool, but the truth is, and the best example I have of it is like, we see early on where like the Amazons are fighting. We see this awesome thing where like they hold up the shield and they catapult each other, and like they've got this great way of fighting and all this. And then when that gets called back in the war, like it's Chris Pine who thinks of that and uses that thing. And yes, she is the thing catapulted into the building, but he's the one who has the plan and takes them places and actually like drives the plot forward.
I'm pretty sure she was the one who said, "No, I'm making the choice to go outside of the trench."
I was just gonna say the only cool thing she does is go into no man's land, but especially at the end, like she's just kind of there, and he's actually the one I care the most about. Like he's the one who has something he's trying to get done, and every emotional great speech about trying to wrestle with how tough this war is comes from him. And she just comes off as
He
kind
has
of
the strategy, and she's just the juggernaut.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I liked the movie, and then once it was over, as I start thinking on it, I was like, wait, I actually liked him way more. Like when it was over, I went, oh, Wonder Woman 2 won't have my favorite character in it. I also have a pretty serious problem with the fact that I have to compare this to Steve Rogers because it is so obviously parallel. Steve Rogers is great because he has a wonderful conscience, a good sense of right and wrong, and that drives him forward. At the end of this movie, she chooses what's right and wrong because a man teaches her about love. And I don't like that very much. I also think that she should have closed the door and had sex with him. And the fact that he closes the door and has sex with her, I don't like that either. But
or did they have sex?
Come on. There's a certain film vernacular. I think
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah. I'm bothered.
But see, I would also disagree with you because Steve Trevor is also the one who just wanted to stop it, but she's like, no, we got to go in there and take care of business, and she does, and she has that scene where before she goes in the trenches where he's like, you have no fight here, and she's like, no, I do, and you guys are just cowards, and I'm going to prove you wrong, and that scene was totally fucking badass.
Yeah, but it comes across as naive in the grand scale of that war, like.
Yeah, because she doesn't know. That's the point.
I agree, and I do say
like
that
her
scene
origin.
is awesome.
She's trying to understand humanity and
That's
this
what I
world,
mean.
this technology.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand.
But by the end, I don't
She's-
feel like she understands.
She's lived
She
in
does.
a world that's just been peaceful, where everybody cooperated and got along.
She doesn't
for the
understand
most
why they
part.
still fight when she takes care of the bad guy.
Yeah.
She has to learn that.
Nah. That's not very
They
interesting
got you
to
beat,
me.
buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I felt like
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you in terms of I did feel like Chris Pine did a lot for in plot wise, whereas if this was a Batman or Superman movie, if it had been the female love interest, she would not have had as much to do. But
Right.
then I was like, well, granted, I didn't see Batman v Superman or whatever, but
Oh.
even just like looking at Man of Steel, like Lois Lane did a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
Where she was, running around the ship and talking to Zor-El or whoever, I don't care.
Keelig.
Jor-El.
Whatever. Oh, I guess Zor-El is Kara's dad, right?
Yep.
Kara Zor-El.
Good job.
Anyway, but yeah. But yeah, I guess that was my idea was that, okay, yeah, he did a lot, but to be fair, I guess, Lois Lane's done a lot in Superman movies,
Fair.
so. But, I mean, Chris Pine, I was really impressed with him in this movie, because that first third, he's kind of there, he's like comic relief, he's there to kickstart the plot, he's there for eye candy, but then, like, those next two thirds of the
he is.
movie, like, I was just, like, that scene where he's talking to the lady and he has that German accent, I'm like, gosh damn, Chris Pine can act. Like, I love
It's called Hell or High Water.
Yeah, man, that scene is really good.
Yeah, I love that little detail of like the fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
You can see like the fire reflecting on. God, oh, that was.
Yeah, as this thing, so many things work in this movie for me. The scene where she goes out into no man's land, I think
It's
is like
great.
one of the coolest like action scenes. Just
A lot of the action in this movie is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little video game.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Like, some of the CGI is like you can tell they didn't put as much money into this as they did like Batman,
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
I think that part where she gets out of the, I don't know if she's getting onto the trench or out of the trench or like the fight's over, but like she zooms off in the distance and it just feels like this composited character on the screen that just gets smaller.
Oh. Yeah,
Um,
there's
I was like, ooh.
There's one in that scene where she's like whipping the whip around a lot, and that one felt very
Yeah.
like early 2000s,
But then there's some shots that look incredible when she runs and knees that dude through like the building.
Oh, so good.
That's fucking awesome.
So good.
And I just like.
Brutal.
I just like having fun, and I think the DC movies haven't been fun in a while. And I think this movie is a lot of fun. And I do think the scene after she kills Ares and she doesn't understand why they continue to fight, and Chris Pine has to tell her that man doesn't work that way. I think he's amazing in that scene, and I think her reactions are great. I did not know she was that great of an actress and that she could pull it off. And I think she's wonderful in the film.
But
Anytime that Wonder Woman music played,
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm like, oh shit, here it comes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
James, go ahead.
No, you're good. No.
When she goes into berserker rage after the plane blows up, like
Yeah.
it's pretty
My,
badass.
my only complaint about the movie was that they didn't play Wonder Woman in the end credits.
And she didn't throw the tiara.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Or she didn't say, and granted, it's because all the gods are dead in her world, but she didn't say, like, oh, Hera, give me strength, or any of those, like, really, well-known Wonder Woman catchphrases.
And where was the invisible jet, guys?
And I will say that it suffers
haven't
from
been
Star Trek
yet.
Beyond syndrome, where the credits roll and some weird pop song starts playing.
I know. I bought the score, and that
Oh, does it have it
soundtrack
on
is
there?
that song's at the very bottom. Like, what the fuck is this doing on here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least it wasn't Sia, but yeah.
Because I think the music's great in the movie. I had a lot of fun. My nitpicking thing is the stuff that I didn't like in the trailer, where she's too stupid to go through a door with her shield.
Oh, yeah.
Like that stuff's
yeah.
stupid.
So that bugged me. It kept appearing and disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like her sword and her shield. Like if you
Yeah.
like watch her, different times you're like, wait, where's her sword?
See,
and then,
also-
then she has it.
I'm
then
willing
she
to forgive
doesn't.
that stuff. It's like Batman grabbing stuff from his utility belt.
Yeah,
I'm willing to
well-
forgive that stuff. Spider-Man shooting his webs to nothing. Whatever.
Also, when they give her the regular clothes, I'm like, what do they do with her armor? Is like it's still under there? I guess.
Yeah.
It seems like it would fit.
she
Or,
looks
like-
great though.
Well, when they
God
first get to the
damn.
trenches, I was like, oh, I think she's wearing her regular clothes, like underneath her cloak or something. And then she's like, it's what I'm going to do. And then she like gets out of the trench, and then she has her armor on. I'm like, oh, I guess she like
Yeah.
tore off her regular clothes or something. Or,
Yeah.
But who cares? Because
I also love the
Yeah.
gag where they're picking out outfits and they settle on the one, but Chris Pine's like, still stands out too much. And he puts the glasses on her like Clark Kent, and then the secretary is like, "Oh yeah, like she's still not the hottest woman you've ever seen."
So true.
Yeah, the secretary,
yeah.
she was pretty funny in that.
Robin Wright's really good.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
she's really great.
Yeah.
Who played Hippolyta?
Connie
Britton.
Nielsen.
Connie
No.
Britton.
Nielsen.
Connie Nielsen. Connie Britton
Nielsen.
is
Connie
Friday
Nielsen,
Night Light.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, Connie Nielsen. She was also good. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All the stuff on Amazon Island was pretty good.
Kind of disappointed they didn't go back to Themyscira at
Yeah,
some
no,
point at the end.
I know, right?
Well,
like
there's this awkward scene. Does her mom say that she's banished, or does she
does.
just say you're probably not going to come
No,
back?
she says if you leave,
No.
you can't come back.
did she?
Yeah.
She did.
See,
I don't know.
I thought she
she
said
did.
it. She said it as if. So here's the problem. If she said it as
I
you
thought
can
she
never
said
come
something
back,
like, you might
it
not
has.
come back.
Yeah. I thought it was that you might not come back because that's like
It was
what I
more of a
remember.
realization,
The-
like
the emotional weight that Diana gives is, I might not come back. If
No,
it's
her-
you're never coming back, the decision seems very, very silly.
No, the line her mom says is, if you leave, you can't come back.
Okay, then I have a problem with that scene because it just doesn't land as like really a great emotional moment. It's kind of like, hey, I met this boy. Like, I don't know.
that's what they did in the DC animated series. Although she didn't
That she
leave
was
'cause of-
banished.
She didn't go because of the boy.
Yeah,
No,
she
I
went
know.
because
No,
the world
I
was
know.
being attacked. But she leaves without her mother's permission, and then she like stays away for like months.
Yeah.
And then so when she finally does go back, there's like this whole bullshit that goes down. But in the end, she is banished. But
Sure.
it's actually because she brought dudes to Themyscira. It's not because she left.
See, I would be more okay with that. To me, it's more. It happens so quickly that I don't think there's great emotion. Yes, I'm making light of it by saying, "Hey, I got this boy." I'm not really criticizing that part of it, but I think that there's not enough emotional weight to that. It doesn't seem like it seems like she doesn't give a shit about her mom or all of her people. And yes, it's because she's called by like, oh, this is our calling. We're supposed to go fight Ares, but.
Why would her
If you
mom banish
don't
her
care
then?
about-
I know,
If
I
that
know.
was her whole
Because if she
goal.
comes back, maybe she'll bring other people with her. That was my guess. I don't know.
But if she
Yeah.
doesn't, like why she wouldn't
thought-
welcome her back? I don't get it.
Just
Yeah.
from the dialogue, I thought she meant
I thought it
like,
was May.
you might leave and you might die.
Yeah.
Like this war will have consequences. Like
I'll
you're
I'll go
not
see it again.
indestructible.
I'll go see it again.
I also interpret it as like she was worried that the outside world would
Brian, you don't
attract
have
her
to.
too much
I
that
will.
she wouldn't
Something
want to
like
come
that,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was afraid of.
Oh.
So
I might see it again. I really like the
Oh,
movie.
I didn't feel that because her mom is like very much like out there is bad. Like she's very xenophobic about it. Like
Right.
yeah. I don't know. I was very confused by that. But it was it was over and done so quickly. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like that's one of those things that in an early cut probably was really bad, but they sort of zoomed through it because there were little things when I talk about it feeling like it's scotch taped together. There's little things like the scene in the alleyway where they fight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if some of the shots, especially like at the end when like the guy poisons himself and like Chris Pine, who's supposed to be a spy, just kind of stands there. Like if any of those shots were slightly longer in an early cut, that scene could have been garbage. And in this one, it works. It works just fine. But like I remember when that happened, I was like, this seems a little awkward. And I could see how like in November when people were first seeing this and saying like, oh man, it's a mess. Like I can see how the editing of this film could have made this really disjointed and weird. But anyway.
Also, during the Ares fight, they cut to Dr. Maru?
Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison, yeah. And her
just give up and move on.
her mask has been ripped off, and like it kind of feels like they're alluding to like you're a bad guy if you have scars. Like
No, I
They're
think
pointing
it was,
out that she's also a victim of this
I
war.
think it's
Right.
really just that they have to pay off the mask.
You have to understand that, like during World War I, that like all that gas that they were throwing around in the air and shit was disfiguring people brutally.
well,
by
yeah.
the way, nitpicky thing. So when they gas the town, and then Chris Pine walks up to the town and inhales the gas, and he's still okay. Like
That does happen, yes.
From what I was visually gathering in my head, he was just far away enough from it.
like
Yeah,
there's
I
a
think
hard
it was-
wall for gas.
Well, then it dissipates.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like he gets just close enough that like it barely touches him, and he's like, "Ah."
It's not like
Yeah.
not like it stays like radiation.
But it did seem
it's a
stupid.
gas
Like
that
hey,
melted a mask like a couple
For
scenes
a-
ago.
But
he doesn't know that.
the epicenter of it
Yeah.
probably, but like the fringes, maybe it's not as potent, especially because like they said, it's
Like does gas
dissipating.
work
I don't
like
know.
that? Like
He doesn't know. He hasn't been doing crazy gas science. He just thinks it's weird green smoke.
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying
it was gold.
Sorry, I'm
we know how the gas works.
Was it really gold?
I'm surprised
Yeah.
it didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Like it's this terrible potent thing.
It didn't kill him because he has to die later.
He was only like 5 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like that's odd.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem with that, with her mask coming off and it being about her being like a victim to, is that she also makes the gas. So I don't know if she's just like there are villains like that who are scarred because they've been exposed to their own stuff. So
I
I didn't
was
know.
more of like he said, like she was a victim of,
okay.
there was some other brutality earlier in her life.
That seems more likely because of the way they shoot the scene and the way it's executed visually. They hold on her, and they hold back on Gal, and they hold back on her. Like they're making a instant connection, even though she cannot stand this woman. She has to find some form of. I think it's empathy in her heart. What is this word?
I don't have any.
Error.
I don't think
I agree with you.
Together either. Like,
well, she hates him inadvertently because this whole gas situation. Because boom, boom, Steve, go bye bye. She's angry.
Yeah,
she's
but
pissed off.
Yeah, but
she definitely looks very like pathetic. Like I agree that she's supposed to like emote, but to me, I was like I didn't know what the mask came off for, other than like. In a Kingdom of Heaven kind of way. Sorry for dropping that one twice, but I just really want to see what's behind the mask at least
I
once.
thought her character design with just the mask was really cool.
I did too. I liked watching. Anytime
Yeah.
she was on the screen, I was just watching her cheek.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad.
I lost my train.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, the other thing I liked was the one actor guy when Wonder Woman's talking to him about like, why are you in this war? He's like, well, I don't want to be in it. It's just what I can do because like I want to be an actor, but I can't be an actor because I have brown skin, and it's just like an unfortunate way of life.
And then he kind of gets to, because he gets in the car and he's like, he's doing this like, this character, and I thought Chief was really fun too. Like that was a good moment where she's talking to him and Chief's like, oh yeah, no, my people had their land taken away by his people.
I love the line. I love the moment where they're around the campfire and the guy is like clearly having a PTSD nightmare.
Oh yeah,
wakes up and like he just like he clearly does everything that I've seen happen in that situation. And the chief guy goes, he sees ghosts.
Yeah,
that's all he says. And I was just like, ooh, God, that just gave me a chill down my spine.
I do kind of wish that they had actually like taken the scene where she's walking across the bridge and she sees all the disfigured soldiers coming back. I wish they had just done that full fledged and had her like walking through, like when she gets to the front line, like walking past, like have those guys walk past a medical tent and have her like stop and go through it and like really sit on that one, because it was the scene was good. Like I wanted that one to be rougher.
It's hard because
that scene was cool.
It's hard because you have to make a decision. Are you gonna because this movie's PG-13. Yeah. If you're to show how terrible it was in that war, you would risk your PG-13 rating in a heartbeat.
But I don't
guarantee it.
I don't
the
know
only way they were going to get away with it is one time, and that was going to be with the mask off.
But I don't know that you have to show everything. Like you can walk somebody through a war medical tent and not show all the like
graphic
not
stuff.
Make it the worst, but have it be a tent full of guys who are in pain. Like you don't have to show like, hey, this guy's missing a limb. Like I don't need the sensationalism. I need the emotion of it.
But that's something that we know historically stands out about that particular war.
We do. I'm just agreeing with you that you don't have to put it in the movie. Visually, you could keep a PG-13 and get the emotional weight out of it.
Because I liked
that scene.
Wind. Yeah, you could have done it here.
Yeah, I liked that scene a lot where she's walking across the bridge and like they're starting their adventure, and coming against them is like her first reality of like, oh shit, like war is like war. Like it's not me having fun with my aunt in the wood. Like no, like this is some hardcore shit, and something really serious is happening here. I like that scene a lot.
Also, are we going to be okay with Wonder Woman slaughtering a bunch of Germans?
Yeah, hell yeah,
but
man.
Superman can't break.
Oh no,
Zod's neck.
I'm okay with that too. Let's lay the groundwork here.
Yeah.
All superheroes should murder people all the time, unless they're like Spider-Man.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
What about Batman?
Yeah, Batman can kill people.
Yeah, Batman shot a bunch of people. In
I
Batman
love
Superman.
Yeah,
I love.
he's constantly murdering fools.
I love Captain America, but Captain America technically never killed a Nazi. He killed Hydra agents.
Okay,
Or
fine.
That's an argument that Bueno made to me, and I was like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
But Hydra is a branch of the Nazis, so
that is true.
Yeah. So it's a bad argument.
So take that, Bueno. We just poked a huge hole in
one
your
of the
logic.
arms of the Hydra is the Nazis.
Yeah.
I do feel like even in the comics, Wonder Woman was totally fine with killing people, and
Well,
whereas Batman was like, no, we don't.
There's
kill
a big
people.
controversy over her like snapping Max Lord's neck.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
But,
No,
I mean,
man.
she slaughtered a bunch of
She's super powerful. Kill
huge body
some
count in this movie.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's a war.
Yeah.
That
Kill some fools.
was it Lundberg. One was the
Lumberg fucked her?
no. Was the bad
Lugen
German?
Falugen?
Oh,
The most German name ever.
Luxembourg or
Luxembourg or something. I don't know. The city in Brussels.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Lindberger.
She jammed that sword through him.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yeah, General Dusseldorf.
Yeah.
Which is like, this can't be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
General Augustus Gloop.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next week on Real Nerds Podcast, we'll be seeing The Mummy.
Yep.
With America's sweetheart Tom
Welcome
Cruise.
to a new world of gods and monsters.
I think you mean Tom Hanks. He's America's sweetheart.
I hope at some point the Mummy is not very close to Tom Hanks and he has to get to her quickly.
Well, I have seen this little behind the scenes thing where he's running on buildings that are collapsing.
Oh man,
so-
I hope there's a part where the Mummy is farther away from him but coming towards him and he has to get away from her.
Speaking of Tom Hanks, we should do a skit where they're doing Wonder Woman auditions, but someone shows up to audition for like a girlfriend of the Wonders. They think it's
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
Oh, you mean it's Oneater woman?
Yeah, and then there's a gag like, yeah,
We're
I'm
the
here for Oneater woman.
Wonders.
Hey, that's the Oneater woman.
But yeah, so this is Tom Hanks. If you see me in person, please leave me be.
Cool.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by, Corinne.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Yeah. Bye.
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 Suck my balls. Real Nerds Podcast is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. The Real Nerds would like to thank the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now open in Sloan's Lake. We also would like to thank Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, especially Andrew. Our music has been brought to you by Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios. And of course, thanks to James's mother, our most loyal listener. Have a nice day.